play. This is 122nd Stanley Cup playoff game.
You could see that Hunter was looking for an out, a pass, and then he just fired it at the net. And Glenn Healy didn't see the puck after it hit the post, hit him in the right skate. Then he backed up and knocked it in. That's what the referee now is explaining to Al Arbor, Paul Dvorsky. And there's the Hunter. Nobody plays the whole ice surface better than Hunter.
88 Stanley Cup playoff points now for Hunter. 46 of those as a member of the Washington Capitals, trailing only Scott Stevens on their all-time playoff scoring list. Ran a stream into the zone, but the play called back. It was offside at the Washington blue line. There's the kid from Petrolia, one of the Hunter brothers. Probably remember Mark.
Yeah, owns a soybean farm. Loves his privacy when he goes back to his home in the summertime. Plays some golf, works in the farm, stays in good condition. Of course, I suppose being a farmer, you're not by choice, you're going to stay in shape. There's the shots on goal. The Islanders 20, the Washington Capitals 8, but it's a 1-1 tie.
And they do have great popcorn in this building.
Yeah, you got it all over your tie. What a great tie. Did you get that here?
No.
Oh, you brought that one with you.
13-12, the time remaining in period number 2. This on Loisel bumped around in front of the Washington goal. That's come to center ice. And dumping up the head for May off Jones. Bakota stepped into Jones solidly, and now Norton is controlled up the left wing corner with a feed to Fitzgerald. He gets checked on. It goes to Bakota. Dumps it into the Washington zone. Punching and grabbing going on back in the center ice area as the Islanders tried to come through. Now the Caps move it out. May steps over center and backhands it in. Ian Norton backing in as Healy plays the puck to the left side. Rod Loisel moves it out of the zone. Hatcher with it here. Hatcher just flipped it back in off the end boards. It rolled off the back of the net to Pilon to Norton. Jeff Norton is guided out through center, down into the Washington zone. Icing waved off. Hatcher slowed up a little, so the linesman Asselstein, the lead linesman here, forced him to play it. Cavallini will shoot it in from center ice. Back on it is Dennis Baskey. 1-1 is the score. 12 minutes and 5 seconds left. Second period. Here Turgeon. Left the puck behind the net, then headed up left wing. Baskey with a pass that nobody got to in the center ice area. The rule, the Caps did touch it. Now Hatcher swings it around toward Calle Johansson with King coming in on him, and the Caps just move it out. Malakoff beats Turgeon. Trying to reset the play with a pass to Thomas on the right side. Steve Thomas centered one through Hatcher. King can't get it by Tabaracci. Turgeon drives in on Johansson, but the Caps come away with it. At the right side is Christich. 3-on-2. Pavanka jumps up here with Johansson. Johansson chasing it in the Islander zone. Back to Pavanka. Sharp angle shot was blocked. Pavanka with it again. Checked by Thomas, and King backing things up in front of the net. Able to clear it out. Hatcher able to get it to Johansson cleanly. Now Thomas is over the line after taking Turgeon's pass. Quick shot with a big pad save. Turned in by Tabaracci. Hogue steps up from the blue line. He's given it to Turgeon. Back to Malakoff. Shooting just wide of the net. And Tabaracci reaches out to grab it before Flatley got there.
It's a good response by the Islanders after watching Hunter get a goal. We'll be back right after this.
When I'm on the job, there's no mistaking which team I pull for. But when I'm on the town, I show my Mets colors with this, the Mets MasterCard from Chemical Bank. It gives me all of MasterCard's advantages, plus a great lineup of special Mets benefits.
Jeff, about that pitching rotation.
The Mets MasterCard.
Hey, Jeff!
If you have one, use it. If not, call 1-800-233-METS anytime.
The Islanders have really gelled, and they've come together as a team.
They're prepared now for the playoff hockey, being that they worked so hard to get here.
You can see that the players are hungry to be on the ice. They don't just get the puck and just shoot it away. They're not nervous out there, and I think that that's a very, very good sign.
From the Kasparaitis to the Ferraro to the Flatley to the Thomas. I mean, these guys are guys that'll go out there and they'll do something that'll make the other team think, wow, these guys are just not going to quit. That's the good sign that I see.
Islanders pick up the play. Here's Malakov's shot just to the left outside the goal post. There it goes. Boom. Almost get the feeling that had that been on the net, Tabaracci wouldn't have gotten to it. It was coming too quickly.
Now Benoit Hogue is in the middle with Flatley on the right, Ferraro on the left for this face-off. Ridley pulled it toward the corner. Ridley, Carpenter, and Miller together. Benoit Hogue trying to get it back to Krupp, but it's knocked away, and Miller takes it down the right side. Cote had to pull up. Miller gets it across the line. Krupp knocks it loose. Here's Cote into the corner. That's Carpenter centering right across the front of the net. Iafrate lets it go right on, and Healy makes this big stop. Another one off Miller. Ridley from back of the net. Carpenter floating around in front, got chased away. Puck comes off the end boards. Out in front now. Healy down, dives out to cover the puck. The Caps have stepped it up a notch again.
They did, Jiggs, and if the only good part of it all was that the Islanders did not leave Glenn Healy alone, they took all of the white jerseys in front of them and moved them back. Kinds of plays that they didn't do in game one that led to a couple of goals by Hunter. Here's Iafrate from a reverse angle. What a stop by Healy. Then he gets back up just in time to make that save with his right arm as he deflected it over the top of the net. And then setting up behind the net, Bobby Carpenter looking, trying to move it to the front. And there's the loose puck as it's moved to the front again by Carpenter. Watch the white jerseys as the Islanders move them all away. Ken Healy come up with the puck, come up with a word or two to the referee, Paul Dvorsky.
That's one of the areas that Glenn Healy, talking to some of the writers yesterday, was concerned about. The way the Caps stood around in front, drove to the net, and then interfered and backed in on top of them, that type of thing.
All they need to do is just to keep one guy loose in front of the net when there's a loose puck.
Now Rich Pilon moves it out off Travis Green. Ryan Mullen shoots it down the ice. Now Darno in after it. Iafrate gets back. A little scuffling in front of the Islander bench as they change up now. Loose puck in center. Jumping up on it is Hunter to Krieger on left wing. Pilon took care of him. And Derek King rounds the Islanders' net. King with Del Darno and Turgeon. This is Norton with Hunter draped all over him. Loose puck in the center ice zone. A big hit delivered on Eleanor.
Derek King several times in this hockey game now has used his body where he doesn't normally. A delayed penalty.
And it is on Derek King.
Interference seems to be the call. Derek King arguing the call as he goes into the penalty box. Suppose for a player like Derek King, who concentrates so much on just playing and handling the puck, not the aggressive part of the game, it's not a bad penalty for him to take. And the reason I say that is because what it says to the players of the Washington Capitals, I'm in this hockey game and I'm in it physically. I'm just not going to make pretty plays. I'm going to take the body there, as you saw him take Eleanor and ride him backwards off his skates.
Al Arbor complaining about the call. It is the second power play opportunity for the
Derek King in the penalty box.
Okay.
Sorry, Jiggs.
Yeah, just an update. Apparently, we're seeing a score update from Pittsburgh. Penguins lead 3-0. Rick Crockett getting the third goal after Mario Lemieux and Sean McEachran had scored earlier. Alexander Mogilny has another playoff goal. It's 3-0 Buffalo in that game at Boston. And Quebec has a 3-0 lead over Montreal. Scott Young has scored 2 more.
Some great hockey in the playoffs. Some outstanding hockey all season long.
Now the Caps on the power play. Iafrate and Cote on the points. This is Cote, number 3, shooting it around the boards. They use Bondra up front on this play along with Eleanor. Held in. Eleanor gets it right back. And it goes to Cote. Looks to Al Iafrate. Cote to Al Iafrate. Off the post. And Islanders couldn't clear it out originally, and now Flatley slams it down the ice right to Rick Tabaracci.
I think if Healy may have gotten that, Jiggs, it looked like he shot his right pad out. It hit him so hard, it could have reacted as if it hit the post.
They're back over the line again. It's being counted as a shot on goal. Only the 12th of the game for the Caps. The Islanders with well over 20. Here comes Hatcher to Bondra off his stick. Fitzgerald got knocked down. Pilon reaches in, trying to tie up Helenuck. Fitzgerald nudges it loose and then shoots it the length of the ice. 1 minute remaining in the penalty to Derek King. This is Calle Johansson, the former Buffalo Sabre. Up to Michael Pavanka. Through center ice, the puck rolling on him. It's forced him to dump it in. Christich went in after it. Healy cleared that, then Pavanka puts it back in the net. Pilon around to the open side. That's Fitzgerald on Johansson. Pavanka with Pilon on him. It goes back in the net. Hunter is checked by Krupp. And Huey Krupp backed it to the line. Hatcher held it in. Krupp ties up Christich, but here's Hunter in the corner. Back of the net to Pavanka. Pilon got to him. Krupp got to the puck, but lost it to Christich. So Hunter to Christich in front of the net. Got turned around and lost it. Now he sets up Hunter with a pass to Johansson to Hatcher for a shot that was high and wide. Johansson at the right point with 12 seconds in the power play. Lost it. And it's cleared out of there by Rich Pilon. 7 seconds in the man advantage. Hatcher to Hunter at center ice. He's across the line. Hunter trying to go through traffic. Got knocked down. And Benoit Hogue spots Turgeon. Up ahead is King. Onside. Comes right in on goal. Backhander. Tabaracci able to stop that. Derek King pulls it out in front. Send it back. This is Vasky to Thomas. He is denied. Turgeon scores!
The Islanders continued the pressure. Turgeon finishes the play, standing just to the left of Tabaracci, who had made 2 outstanding saves, couldn't control the rebound. There's the play by Dennis Vasky to the front of the net. Tabaracci got a piece of it. It's jammed loose. There's the play as Turgeon slams it into the open side of the net, and the Islanders have regained their 1-goal lead. Shot by Thomas, saved by Tabaracci. Then Thomas worked the puck loose to Pierre Turgeon, and the Islanders are up by 1. There's the play. Good stop as Tabaracci got himself in the right position, but he couldn't spread out far enough. You remember the save that he made off Benoit Hogue with his right foot. He tried again that time to lengthen his left one and couldn't lengthen it far enough.
Goal at the 12:36 mark. Turgeon second of the game. And the Islanders with that 1-goal lead down to 7 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the second period now. Hear from Steve Thomas. He'll join in our second intermission. Molotov broke up Carpenter's pass attempt. Off the puck to Turgeon. He gets taken down. In comes King. Had Thomas open in front, couldn't get it to him. Vladimir Molotov held it in. Iafrate puts it in the corner, then went to King. Up with the puck is Ridley. On to Carpenter. On pass to Miller. He tips it into the Islanders zone, and over goes Vladimir Molotov. Molotov off the boards, but too far for Green. Over the boards comes Loisel. He got bumped as he moved it to the right side for Vasky. On into the Washington zone. Cleared out and then shot back in and over the glass. And out of play.
Did you know that stress and certain vitamin deficiencies can cause hair loss, and that researchers are growing hair in a test tube? When you call Hair Club for Men, we'll send you this information along with Hair Club's own advances in dealing with hair loss.
I wanted something that looked very natural and also looked very natural when I was skiing and when my hair was very wet.
It made me feel old to be going thin at 24.
Hair Club's innovative techniques in dealing with hair loss will give you the confidence you've always wanted.
I did not ask to lose my hair. And for a long period of time, I thought that I would have no choice. And with Hair Club, I do have that choice.
No matter what sport or activity, your new hair will look and feel like your own.
Now that I have a full head of hair, people that haven't seen me in a while, they don't even know I had anything done. It's like totally natural to them.
So call Hair Club for Men and receive our free brochure, along with some tips that may help you keep the hair you have.
I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
Face-off is outside the Washington blue line. The Islanders leading this game by a score of 2-1. Green and May fenced a little after the face-off, and the Islanders change up, getting Green and May and Delgarno off the ice. Sending up Fitzgerald and Nick Dakota. Jeff Norton with a pass up ahead to Loisel. Got ridden into the boards. The stick came up a little on Paul Cavallini. And it's a roughing penalty, or is it boarding? Now we've got a full-scale scrum going inside the Islanders' blue line. Pilon and Jones, who we're watching here, and it started with Nick Dakota. Ritchie with that left. Oh, man. See you later, Mr. Jones.
Well, you never know what you're going to get when you come looking for it.
Rich Pilon heads for the penalty box. Jones will leave. Ron Loisel is already in the penalty box. So is Alan May.
Talked about Jones before the series started. He was a player that liked to go. There's the original penalty. Claude Loisel on Cavallini. You see Loisel swing him around and whack him up against the boards. He was getting a delayed penalty when May came across the ice. Then Jones came roaring across the ice. Vakota got tangled up with Burridge. That left Jones. He went after Rich Pilon.
Dakota has been asked to leave the penalty box, has gone and picked up his helmet and stick, gloves, and skates back to the players' bench. Meanwhile, Paul Dvorsky hands out the penalties, dealing with the off-ice officials, as we reported earlier from the Spectrum in Philadelphia.
We know that Claude Loisel has a penalty. And you can see the actions there by Dvorsky, that closed or clenched fist motion. That's a roughing for somebody. He's explaining it to Kevin Hatcher. We'll have to wait till they make the announcement. We'll get it all clear then.
Here's it's going to be a wash.
Terry
Murray can get anybody to change their minds, though, huh?
That Ron Asselstein, he's not going to, because he doesn't. Here's the penalties now.
Number 10, Claude Loisel gets 2 minutes for charging. For New York, number 47, Rich Pilon, 5 minutes for fighting. Washington, number 16, Alan May, 2 minutes roughing. Washington, number 26, Keith Jones, 5 minutes for fighting. Time of the penalties, 13:50.
You are exactly right, Mr. Jig. It's a wash. This is the original penalty on Claude Loisel. He gets a charging penalty as he wrapped Paul Cavallini into the boards. May gets 2 minutes for roughing, so that penalty along with Loisel's cancel, and Pilon and Jones each get 5 minutes for fighting.
6 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the second period. Islanders 2, Capitals 1. Pierre Turgeon has both Islander goals, and Dale Hunter has scored for Washington. All of the goals at full strength tonight. Kasparaitis reached in to pick up the puck following the draw, dumps it down the ice. Delgarno is filled, and Todd Krieger is going to the penalty box.
Terry Murray can get mad at Krieger now. He was mad at the referee. But this is the situation somewhat reversed from game one in the third period, when the Islanders started to take bad penalties. Silly penalties, dumb penalties, and Krieger gets caught that time in the center ice area. There's the play dumped in. Look on the far side. Todd Krieger, as he pulled the Islander forward down in the center ice area. Not a place that you want to take a penalty. It's interference. So the Islanders will go to the power play.
Discussion here with the Islanders, Derek King, Steve Thomas, and Pierre Turgeon, all talking with veteran linesman Ron Asselstein. Vladimir Molotov and Jeff Norton on defense. For the Caps, Miller and Ridley as the forwards, Johansson and Hatcher, their defense combination. The officials are over talking at the respective benches. Ray Scapanello is talking to Terry Murray, and referee Paul Dvorsky talking with Coach Al Arbor of the Islanders. Terry Murray still with some orders for linesman Scapanello. It's not pizza orders, marching orders here. The Islanders on the power play. This is their third opportunity of the game. Molotov ends up dumping the puck in. To the far corner goes Turgeon. It's pushed away from him right to Thomas. Around the boards to King, to Turgeon, who backs in behind the net. On to Steve Thomas. Hatcher takes him to the board. Turgeon, nice turn on Johansson, sets up Molotov. His shot was blocked. Thomas gets it underway and missed the net. Lodges in the mesh after coming off the board, so play called. 1:27 left in the power play.
Steve Thomas wheeling and just firing the puck. He's trying to pick a corner. He has that good a feel for the net. Even though he's turning, he's in motion. His head down, trying to make sure he gets enough of the puck. Let's take a look. Here's the play out in front. There's Thomas turning. You could see how close it was. Just inches outside the goalpost. And Calle Johansson, along with Pierre Turgeon, holding the puck up on the side of the net. Face off in Washington's end.
Turgeon steps in with Ridley. Turgeon wins the draw. Norton sets up Molotov at the right point. Into Turgeon, back to Molotov. To Turgeon on the right wing, centers. Thomas tried to give it right back to him. Took it behind the net, and then Hatcher was there to knock it away to Miller, and it's spun out of the zone to the open side of the ice. By the time Molotov gets to it behind the net, make it 65 seconds left in the power play. Molotov hard around the board. Nabaracci blocks it. Left it for Calle Johansson. Johansson using the board. Got it to the line. Molotov held it in, but it went right back to Johansson. Steps over center ice. Gave it to Ridley on right wing. Back to Johansson, who had to reach for it. Now he goes to the corner to recover. Back to the net to Ridley. Miller covering the left point. Didn't start in. Ridley feeds it towards the point. It hit Thomas and comes out of the zone. Derek King gets to it. King cutting to the left side. Had to turn back on Cote. Resets the play. Now comes to the line. Gets over the line. Is checked by Cote. Loose puck. Thomas with a shot that's blocked. Turgeon goes to the corner. Back to King. Looks the troop. Turns the other way and is bumped by Miller. Hit the puck toward Thomas. Back to Turgeon. To Derek King, and his cross-ice pass was broken up by Miller with 7 seconds left in this power play. And a little more than 4 minutes to play in the second period as Krupp has dumped the puck in. Cote slams it out of there. Backboard is Ferraro. One shot on goal with the power play. Krieger goes to the Washington bench, and Flatley is checked at the blue line. Benoit Hogue dumps it in, and the Islanders get the play onside again. They back out and let Iafrate handle the puck. Long pass to Pavanka. Flatley coming back. Checked by Bondra. Walks in. Healy beats him on the short side. Bondra sets up Cote for a shot that's blocked, and Ferraro races down the left side. Ray Ferraro with Hogue coming up. Checked from behind by Cote, and Pavanka starts the play back the other direction. Michael Pavanka across the line. He is giving it to Bondra. He gets checked, and out come the Islanders, but a penalty call. Washington to the power play right after this.
My brother, about to become a father.
So how big can a crib be? Season tickets went on sale today, Mike. And, well, maybe next year. We've gone 5 years straight.
Yeah.
Is this about the kid? This kid's getting for free, you know.
It's gonna be a little tight.
Mike, this year's on me.
Only one beer has the taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Budweiser.
Now, the new little guy's going to every game, right? Bobby, it could be a girl. A girl?
Jeep days are here. That's right. The incredible opportunity to save on the Jeep vehicle you've been waiting for is now even more exciting with an unbelievable selection. Choose from hundreds of award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokees and get up to $1,100 in savings. Enjoy cash back on classic Cherokee Sport or get legendary Wrangler as low as this. So come in for Jeep days at your Jeep and Eagle dealer today, because days like these won't be here for long. Now financing available with no payments until August.
Al Arbor trying to get the attention of Brad Delgarno as he heads over to the bench. Benoit Hogue took a penalty in the Islanders' end of the ice. There's a tripping penalty. The Islanders were in the position of racing up 4 men against 1, but it was taking Bondra down that got the penalty. Pat Flatley trying to control a bouncing puck. He lost it, and Bondra walked in. A right pad save. Healy with a beauty, and he has had some in the first 2 hockey games, or 1+. That one as good as any, as timely as any, with the Islanders leading by 1 goal in the second period. 3 minutes and 19 seconds remaining, and Washington going to the power play.
Water bottle knocked off the net. Glenn Healy had his gloves off, and referee Paul Dvorsky replaces that. Face-off is just inside the blue line. Hunter and Mullen on the draw, and the puck came back to Johansson. Johansson looks to the far side. Hunter's lost his helmet. Johansson up the slot. There's Hunter. The center score!
The Midas touch of Dale Hunter in this series so far. He was sliding the puck out in front of the net. It hit something and went in behind Healy. Hunter won the draw originally. Here he is. Slides it out. It went off the Islander defenseman, I think. Molokov, as he went through the goal crease to get to a player to the right of Healy. There's Johansson as he put it into Hunter. Christich is there, goes off the skate of Vladimir Molokov, and it's a 2-2 hockey game. Tough break for Glenn Healy. Tough break for the Islanders. A big break for the Washington Capitals, and this close game gets even closer.
Everybody's hero here. As somebody wrote in the Washington newspaper today, the most hated player in the league until Ulf Samuelsson started to emerge. Dale Hunter. Credited with the goal, his second of the game and 4th of the series. Johansson went to the Washington dressing room after that goal. After being called for having iced the puck. Hey fans, a great way to reward yourself after the game is with the clean, crisp, cold taste of a nice cold Budweiser. Nothing beats a Bud.
He excites the fans here. He has all season long. Played in every game. 84. Very seldom, I think something like 5 games in his career here with the Washington Capitals that he hasn't dressed.
He is one tough-nosed player, as they say. Now King, Turgeon, and Thomas for the Islanders. Ridley, Miller, and Carpenter out there for Washington. That's Thomas grinding off the end boards. King back up on his skates after being knocked down by Hatcher. Hatcher pushed him to the boards, reached them this time. Thomas comes away with the puck. Here's Turgeon, and he slipped it across the open goal, and back comes Miller. Down the right side, Carpenter crisscrossing. Miller to Iafrate. It was off his skates. Oop. Nice up Al Iafrate, and the puck comes loose for Darius Kasparaitis. Up ahead, off King, and at center ice, Hatcher recovers. Lost it on the boards. Thomas touched it inside the Washington line. It's being called on an offside. 2 minutes and 13 seconds remaining in the second period. Caps have outshot the Islanders, outscored them in this period. And an update from Pittsburgh, we're told that the Penguins have taken a 5-0 lead. Well, even as I speak, 6-0, would you believe? Boy, Herb Brooks had a long talk with Herb last night, Ed. Very disappointed in his effort, both at the Coliseum and obviously in Game 1. He said they had a pretty good team meeting yesterday. Practice wasn't anything that he enjoyed, but he felt that the players were on the same page now after watching video and so on, and apparently not. 6-0.
Difficult to tell whether a team is playing poorly or it's just because of what the Pittsburgh Penguins are doing.
They have been on such a roll recently. No sign of a letdown there. Here the Islanders and the Capitals in an old-fashioned Stanley Cup playoff game. Tied 2-2. Flatley, Devasky. It's behind Tabaracci, but not over the goal line.
Beautiful shot by Dennis Vasky. Vasky helped set up the second goal by Pierre Turgeon as he joined the play going down the boards. That time he moved in from the left, or I should say right point position. This reverse angle as you get the shot. There's Vasky. He trapped it. Tabaracci trapped it between his knees. He still wasn't sure where it was. You could see as he looked back. Let's watch again. Down deep, flatly grabbed the puck, set it across. There's the shot coming in. You see the reaction of the goaltender as he looks back, thinking that it might be in that spot behind him, but it wasn't. Ferraro is taken away by Cavallini as he goes to look for a loose puck.
Now Travis Green to take the draw with Michael Pabanka. Mullen on the left, Delgarno on the right. Little fencing. Puck loose following the face-off. Christich got it to the line. Kasparaitis to Mullen. That'll be called on an offside as Darius shot it in from outside the line. We welcome our audience in Canada on the Sports Network. 1 minute and 43 seconds left in the second period here at Landover. And the Islanders and the Capitals tied 2-2. Or should we say Dale Hunter of the Caps and Pierre Turgeon of the Islanders tied 2-2.
That's exactly right. Turgeon opened the scoring. Hunter tied it. Turgeon got the lead for the Islanders. And then Hunter tied it up again on a power play here just moments ago.
Caps have had 3 power play opportunities in this game. So have the New York Islanders. The Islanders remain 0-4, the Mad Advantage. 8 now in the series. Brad Delgarno pinching in, got a piece of Al Iafrate. Puck came back. Molotov with a shot that went wide. Green takes it back in the net, trying to center in front of the Caps goal, and Rick Tabaracci has it again. Al Cote grabbing his face, may have been clipped with a Naren stick. Caps complaining a little. Tonight's referee, Paul Dvorsky, has handled an excellent game in his first Stanley Cup playoff encounter.
That's Travis Green as he rounded the net, trying to get it to the front of the net. Good coverage here by the Washington Capitals. There's a stick coming up in the air. Iafrate as he gets after Brian Mullen. There's the puck. Green behind the net. Brings it around to the side. Tries to get it in front. There's Mullen. He got his stick up. He got pushed by Iafrate. Believe that was part of what Cote got in the face. But the Islanders, one of the things they haven't done each time that the Washington Capitals, in particular, Dale Hunter has scored, the Islanders haven't sagged. They haven't sat back and tried to figure out what they did wrong. They kept bringing the puck back into the Washington end.
Yes, twice the Islanders have led in this game. Twice the Caps have come back. Now the Turgeon, King, and Thomas unit are out there for the Islanders. Dale Hunter around the boards. Big collision with Ridley. Krupp knocking him down, and the puck ends up at center. Derek King will dump it down the boards. Tabaracci left it for Calle Johansson. Johansson moves it to the right side. Miller on to Hunter. Over the line here with Ridley. Loose puck. Hunter goes after it. Duke takes him to the boards. Meantime, the puck goes in deeper. Steve Thomas comes back. He's pushed away from the play by Miller. Thornton frees it up. Moving it around to Krupp. Now to King. Islanders in the dark blue uniforms. Turgeon unable to accept the pass, and he gets checked. Meantime, Derek King is down on the ice, back of the play. He is inside the Washington blue line, and Ridley and Steve Thomas fence out in the center ice area. Islanders trainer Ed Tyberski coming out to attend to Derek King. This with 44.3 seconds remaining in the second period.
It did not appear to be a vicious check on Derek King. He hit the boards a little off balance, and whether he got taken into the corner of the boards at the top, it's near the corner where the glass ends. No, he's cut. You can see now the reason that he's down on the ice. Must have hit his face on the glass or on the boards. It's around the lower lip chin area that Derek King has been cut. A lot of hard hitting in this hockey game, but for most of the game, the sticks have been down. This is down in the lower right-hand corner. You see the Washington player just as the camera starts to move off into the far side where the puck is. You'll see the stick waving, and Derek King got taken down heavily. As far as the players and the coaching staff for the Islanders, they'll be glad to know that it's just a cut lip, if that's all it is. It seems to be. He went down stunned as if he was hit, or he hit his face into the boards when he was taken down.
Ed Taberski has Derek King patched up. He'll have to go back to the bench on this play stoppage. 44.3 of a second remaining in the period. The Islanders are out shooting the Washington Capitals 30-14. Better than 2-1 in this game, and it's tied 2-2. Tabarachi has been a story again tonight. From the Islanders' standpoint, Pierre Turgeon scoring twice is the story, as this line of King, Turgeon, and Thomas was basically shut down in game one.
Think of some of the scoring chances that the Islanders have had, as well as the Capitals in the second period. Hogue, on a beautiful play from Flatley, saw Tabarachi come up with an outstanding right skate save, and then Tommy Fitzgerald with 2 good scoring chances, and he missed the net on both of them. And then Yui Krupp fed Ferraro, and that forced Tabarachi to come up with another save. And then how about Bondra, as he stole the puck and went in all alone, and Glenn Healy was able to beat him.
The game has certainly had its anxious moments. Benoit Hogue has replaced Derek King on the left side of Turgeon. Thomas is on the right as we watch the Caps dump it in. Molotov races back. There's Carpenter putting it in front. Able to move it toward the corner. Ridley and Baskey battle for it. In steps Turgeon. Here Turgeon with 58 goals in the regular season. 2 more here tonight. Thomas has dumped it in. That's Hogue going to the corner with 19 seconds in the period. Tabarachi knocked it loose, but Turgeon is on the puck. Here Turgeon, checked by Miller. It comes right back into the skates of Thomas. Here Brady go to the corner. Thomas gets away from him, comes out in front to the forehand, and he shot it wide. Hogue trying to center. 3 seconds left. Turgeon is checked behind the net, and the period comes to a close, but not before a penalty is called.
Kevin Hatcher immediately goes over to Paul Dvorsky, the referee. That tells you something. It's not in the best interest of the Washington Capitals. I thought it was just a stoppage of play. So far, Paul Dvorsky, a long explanation. Now here he comes to the off-ice officials. Look at the beautiful move by Thomas. Shot it over the net. Then he fell into the goaltender. But on the play, it appears a slashing penalty. Thomas, he is so hard to check. I afraid he couldn't knock him off the puck. Turning, firing the puck, trying to get it top shelf. Thomas missed. The fans booing. It's got to be a penalty to the Washington Capitals.
Here's our goaltender, Tabarachi.
2 minutes for slashing at 19:58.
Slashing is the call. Tabarachi gets it.
All the Islanders can hope for on the power play in the second period is to get one on the net, on the draw. Here Turgeon has received his instructions from Al Arbor. That's Ridley taking the face-off for the Caps. The lone man back is Vladimir Molotov, who's standing right behind Turgeon, but Ridley wins the draw, and the period comes to a close. So it's 2-2 after 2 periods.
It doesn't get any better than what we're seeing right here at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland. Rick Tabarachi, outstanding for Washington. Glenn Healy, his equal for the Islanders.
You see Healy leading the Islanders off the ice. Big third period for the Caps on Sunday night. What'll unfold tonight? Well, our second intermission is just around the corner. This game is tied 2 apiece.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealer. And by the people who introduced television, who now proudly present RCA Home Theater TV.
Jeep days are here. That's right. The incredible opportunity to save on the Jeep vehicle you've been waiting for is now even more exciting with an unbelievable selection. Choose from hundreds of award-winning Jeep Grand Cherokees and get up to $1,100 in savings. Enjoy cash back on classic Cherokee Sport. Or get legendary Wrangler as low as this. So come in for Jeep days at your Jeep and Eagle dealer today, because days like these won't be here for long. Now financing available with no payments until August.
There are 2 ways to put a movie theater in your home. You could build one. Or you could simply buy the giant 35-inch RCA home theater with SRS sound. It's the easiest way to get a movie theater in your home.
You're about to see an amazing detergent at work. Just look for the big red O. Drive in, fill up with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus, and it starts working. Unclogging fuel injectors, cleaning intake valves as you drive, giving your car performance that's trouble-free. So drive your engine clean with Mobil Super Unleaded Plus, the detergent gasoline.
Come see the newest and the most celebrated champions of all time in the Campbell Soups 1993 tour of World Figure Skating Champions. Babylonian Gardner, Victor Petrenko, the Dujanets, Nancy Kerrigan, Mish Kutenak and Dimitriев, Brian Boitano, Torval and Dean, Jill Trenery, Klimova and Ponomarenko, Scott Davis, and many more, as Tom Collins presents the greatest figure skaters in the world.
Appearing at Nassau Coliseum Sunday, May 2nd at 1 p.m. Tickets available at the Nassau Coliseum box office and all Ticketmaster locations.
We have played 2 periods at the Cap Center. 2-2 is the score. Now for Mobil, here is your game scoring summary. In the opening period, Pierre Turgeon had the only goal, his 13th playoff goal, giving the Islanders the lead at 13-14. Then in the second period, Dale Hunter ties it with his third, and a strange play, the puck going in off the skates of Glenn Healy, and it is 1-1 until 12:36 when Pierre Turgeon converts from Thomas and Vasky, and the Islanders are up 2-1. They maintain that lead until a Washington power play, and Dale Hunter gets his second of the game, 4th in this series. Johansson and Carpenter assisting on that goal. For Mobil, the shots tally, 14-6 Islanders in the first period, 17-9 in the second, 31 shots for the Islanders, 15 for the Caps. Islanders, however, 0 for 3 on the power play. The Capitals are 1 for 3 on the power play, and the Islanders, of course, with most of Tabarachi's penalty to be used on the power play at the beginning of the third period. So the game is tied 2-2 after 2 periods, and Steve Thomas has set up both goals for Pierre Turgeon, and right now he joins Ed Westfall.
Thank you, Jiggs. Stevie, it seems that you've found a way, you, Pierre, Derek King, to get a little freedom. You're getting so many good scoring opportunities. Maybe you could tell us about it.
Well, I think we're getting that puck in deep. Pierre's being able to get that line and hit the puck in deep, and we're just trying to forecheck him as hard as we can and making sure one guy's high, and it's creating a lot of opportunities for us.
Steve, right at the end of the period, I was describing a good scoring opportunity. Maybe you could help us with this one.
Well, I was going down to the corner, and I just figured I'd make a tight turn back up the ice and try and lose a defenseman. And Ally Frady's so strong with that puck, or so strong a checker, and I don't know how I got out of the corner, but I was pretty much surprised, and I didn't get a great shot on net. Tabarachi made a great save on me. I guess I had Benoit Hogue at the side of the net there wide open, but you know, I had my head going all down on the ice, going all the way to the net, and I didn't really see him.
I've always been amazed at how you could make so many moves and still get a shot away, so I didn't give you credit. I thought from the angle I was sitting at that the puck went wide, but Tabarachi did have to make the save on that.
Yeah, I think he just caught it off his shoulder. Just unfortunate, that's all.
The way the hockey game is going, is it about the way that you'd had hoped it would go for the Islanders outside of, say, the score?
Well, we knew we had to rebound after the last game. We had to isolate on their defensemen so that they don't get into the play like they did in the first game, and I think we've done that tonight. I think we've slowed their forwards down, especially the Pavanka, Christich, and Bondra line through the neutral zone, and if we can do that, then we'll be very successful, I think.
Going back to your line mates, Steve Thomas, what did you say to Derek King and to Pierre Turgeon? Now, we expect someone like you. You're generally in the face of players. You're hitting throughout all the hockey games. You've got Derek King running at guys. You've got Pierre Turgeon taking the body as well.
Well, we just, we're playing in their building. I don't think they expect us to come out and play a physical game. And if you see guys like Pierre, if the other team sees guys like Pierre Turgeon and Derek King coming at them, finishing their hits, they're going to think that we're right into it and we want to win this contest. And I just kind of told Derek and said, maybe we should throw the weight around a little bit and see what happens. And we've been very effective forechecking and bumping into guys, and we're pretty happy about what's gone on in the last 2 periods.
Steve Thomas, we appreciate you taking time out to talk to us. Continued success and good luck in the third period.
Thanks, Eddie.
Steve Thomas, our guest here at the end of 2 periods, where it's a 2-2 tie. Let's rejoin now Jiggs McDonald. Jiggs.
All right, Ed. Steve Thomas playing his 66th Stanley Cup playoff game tonight. More experience than any other member of the New York Islanders. 2-2 is the score. The intermission continues right after this.
If you're getting bored with your hair, you should try Topsy Tail, the incredible hair fashion tool that creates exciting new hairstyles in seconds. It's so easy. If you can make a ponytail, you can Topsy Tail. Simply place the Topsy Tail in the center of the ponytail, thread hair through the loop, and pull for a beautiful new look. And with the same basic steps, you can create dozens of dazzling styles for every occasion in no time. It's all right here in the Glamour Guide. Topsy Tail works on any hair type. Kids love Topsy Tail too. School time, playtime, anytime. It's even great for shoulder-length hair. Now, for less than the cost of one visit to the hair salon, you can order Topsy Tail, complete with Glamour Guide for just $12.95. Order now and we'll also send you secrets to French braiding. Create a whole new look and a whole new you. Order Topsy Tail today.
Credit card users call toll-free 1-800-582-2111. Sorry, no CODs. Or send $12.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen. Credit card users call now 1-800-582-2111.
Thursday, Sports Channel is the only place for Islanders and Devils playoff hockey. Pierre Turgeon and the Islanders face off with the Capitals. Plus, the Devils battle Lemieux and the Penguins. Game 3 of the Division Semis, live Thursday on Sports Channel. Coming soon to Sports Channel. You like the season?
Oh, you gotta love it!
Now, get ready for the playoffs.
That's a Bonavilla!
The Mets 1993 NBA playoffs. Coming soon on Sports Channel.
The Islanders and the Capitals are tied 2-2 in Game 2 of this Patrick Division semifinal. And now for Nobody Beats the Wiz, here's what we have elsewhere. As reported earlier, the Penguins are running it up on the New Jersey Devils tonight. They've played 2 periods and it's 6-0. A couple of goals by Sean McEachran. Ariel Lemieux has a goal, so does Rick Tocchet, so does Kevin Stevens, and Jaromir Jagr in that game. In the game at Boston, Buffalo, at the end of 2 periods, has a 3-0 lead. Alexander Mogilny adding to the first period goals by Wayne Presley and Randy Wood. No change at Quebec. The Nordiques leading Montreal by a score of 3-0. Scott Young got the goals number 2 and 3 after Curtis Lecision had scored the opening goal in the game. So you're up to date. Quebec leads their series 1-0. Buffalo leads theirs 1-0, attempting to go up 2-0. Same story at Pittsburgh, and here the Caps lead 1-0, and this one is tied 2-2. Ed will be back with a look at second period highlights right after this.
Chocolate is scrumptious when it crunches. That's why I love Nestle Crunch. That's why I love Nestle Crunch Scrunches.
Dear Midas, as a woman, I often feel mechanics don't bother to talk to me.
You wouldn't understand.
But at Midas, when I explained that I did not have a lot of money, your inspection report was explained to me.
This shows you the repair options you can choose from.
Thanks for treating me as a person capable of understanding my car. Jane Robinson.
Dear Midas customers, buy one guaranteed shocker strut and get the second for 50% off. That's the Midas way, the way it should be.
Hi from Snapple. Today I got a letter from a young guy who writes, I love your all-natural beverages. Do you allow people to tour your plant? Okay.
Welcome to Snapple World Headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Stephen. Did you see our artwork?
Very nice.
What are you drinking? Pink lemonade. This is a marvelous drink. Cherry lime Ricky. Tea. Do you taste that peach?
Ooh.
And this is the men's room. Now you're a Snapple man. Look at that, huh?
Snapple's made from the best stuff on earth.
Hey, I used to look like you. But the latest equipment, personal trainer, we're going to make you more of a man. See, I had a brother that used to flick me right here, ouch, you know. And anyway, we have a free trial offer. We got a deal.
The 9X Yellow Pages. It's surprising what the ads can tell you.
This book, I can rip in half.
The U.S. Postal Service will pick up 1 or 100 or 1,000 priority mail and express mail packages for just $4.50. That's per pickup, not per package. And we'll even pick up heavy ones. You'll get express mail next day and 2-day priority mail delivery at some of the lowest prices around. So call for a pickup. It's like getting a moving van for $4.50.
We deliver for you.
The Islanders led at the end of the first period 1-0. It's now tied 2-2, so that tells you some of the story of the scoring. If you think about game one, the Islanders' line of Turgeon, Thomas, and King had a total of 6 shots on goal. Through 2 periods here, they now have 12, and they've missed some good scoring chances. Mobile is going to show us the highlights of the scoring of the second period. Dale Hunter was the story for the Washington Capitals. Here he looks over, and then he wheels it at the net. It hit the post to the left of Healy. Come back out, hit Healy on the right skate. And as he moved back, trying to gain position, he kicked the puck into the net. Brad Jones didn't get credit for the goal. That goes to Dale Hunter. And Hunter, with his 3rd of the season in the playoffs, tied it at 1 apiece. Pierre Turgeon, who got the only goal of the first period for the Islanders, is to complete this play around the net. Beautiful stop here by Tabaracci off one of the shots by Thomas. Thomas then released the puck out of the grasp over to, yes, Pierre Turgeon, his 2nd of the game, his 2nd of the playoffs, and the Islanders regained their 1-goal lead. Thomas and Dennis Vasky, who had started the play by moving down the left wing boards, also assisted on the goal. But then a power play to the Washington Capitals. Calle Johansson to Hunter, and Hunter, as he passed it to the front of the net, saw the puck go off the left skate of Vladimir Malakoff, and it got in behind Healy. Both the Washington goals have gone in off skates. That one off Malakoff, a tough break for the Islanders, a big break for the Washington Capitals. That's the way the period ended, 2-2, and we'll be back for the start of the 3rd period. It's the Islanders and the Capitals on SportsChannel.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by Payne Weber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. And by your Tri-State GMC truck dealers. Test drive the GMC Jimmy and discover the excitement of shifting on the fly with the Jimmy's unique Instratrack 4-wheel drive.
The GMC Jimmy is already loaded with a powerful V6 engine and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes standard. And now we've dropped in a few extras. Like reclining seats, air conditioning, a killer stereo, tinted glass, and much more. Now, how do we load you into a Jimmy? With this limited time smart lease.
Drop in to your Tri-State GMC truck dealer today.
When I wanted a mini system, I looked at the situation logically. I wanted high tech and high power, but I didn't want high price. Logically, that said 2 things to me. Iowa and nobody beats the Whiz.
You looked at it logically? Did you know the Iowa Minimax had a double cassette? Did you know you could change 2 CDs while one is playing? And who took you to Nobody Beats the Whiz? Yeah, you looked at it logically.
The Iowa Minimax had Nobody Beats the Whiz. The logical choice in home entertainment.
There they are. They're not millionaires. They're not celebrities. They're smart and thrifty. How?
I didn't pay a lot for brakes at Meineke.
Oh, the man who didn't pay a lot for brakes at Meineke.
Let Meineke Discount Mufflers show you how to get high quality at a famously low price. At Meineke, you're not going to pay a lot for brakes.
Experience the WWF at the Nassau Coliseum. See Fred Hitman Hart go one-on-one with the narcissist Lex Luger, plus many other mega matches. Get your tickets now at the box office or any Ticketmaster location. Be there Saturday, May 1st at 8 p.m. as IcoPro brings the WWF to the Nassau Coliseum.
Now it's time for the MCS Canon Teamwork Moment. That's brought to you by the team of Canon Technology and MCS Service. One is a great reason to buy the other. We've had so many teamwork moments in this hockey game, we could pick out all kinds of them, but this one is Derek King. He's stopped by Tabaracci. Derek King keeps fighting, trying to gain possession of the puck, is able to do that. See Turgeon as he spins away, goes behind the net, comes over and stops, goes back, playing cat and mouse. Dennis Vasky feeds it in front. There's the shot by Thomas, and then Thomas loosens the puck over, slammed in by Pierre Turgeon. Vasky and Thomas assisting on the goal by Pierre Turgeon. A teamwork moment, MCS and Cannon.
Well, we get set now for the 3rd period. I'm sure some folks are wondering what their tax dollars are doing tonight here in Washington. Well, David A. Levy, the United States Congressman, 4th District, New York, is at the game. Drop by to say hello, Ed.
Yes. All right. Well, listen, while we have a minute, Islander fans, don't miss the opening night excitement this Thursday, April the 22nd, when the Islanders face off against the Washington Capitals in Game 3 at 7:30 p.m. The first 10,000 fans will receive noisemakers courtesy of Modell Sporting Goods, and every fan will receive an Islanders cheering card courtesy of NatWest Banks. Don't miss the opening ceremonies. Arrive early. That's the Islanders and the Capitals on Thursday, April the 22nd at 7:30 p.m.
What have you got that's orange in your wardrobe that you're wearing Thursday night?
Oh, I'll have to find something.
New Sports Channel Blazers, orange Blazers for Thursday.
No, I don't think
wrong.
so.
The Islanders on a power play. The penalty call was on Tabaracci for slashing late, well, actually 1958 of period number 2. So Malakoff leads the rush here. Vladimir, nice pass to Thomas, shoots. Tabaracci, and now Turgeon towards the net that didn't get through. This is Malakoff at the left point. Into Pierre Turgeon, steps it, pad save, and Miller is there to gather up the rebound and shoot it out of the zone.
What a nice play by Miller, Jiggs. He stood his ground as a penalty killing forward, moved back to help the defense.
Now Turgeon is into the Washington zone, flips one off the glass. Frady, hard around, bounces off Norton at the left point. Jeff Norton with 1 minute and 15 seconds in the power play. Didn't get it to Turgeon. Up steps Hatcher. Norton falls down. Hatcher with a drive. Blocker saved by Healy. Derek King pulls up in the corner. Pass across to Jeff Norton. Norton, nice move on Pabanka. Brings it to the Washington line where he gave it to King. Didn't get it to him, however. Rod Krieger fires it down the ice. 52 seconds left in this. The 4th power play of the game for the New York Islanders.
A good opportunity for the Islanders, but so far they're squandering it.
Now Benoit Hogue gets over the line. 4 caps stretched out at that point. The pass to Ferraro is tipped, and once more, Krieger clears it out.
Remember in the first period, the reason that the power play was so successful, the Islanders were skating hard through the center ice area, forcing the Washington penalty killers to back up. Now they're shooting it in or trying to carry it in slowly.
This time, Cavallini's effort to get it out of there is tipped and goes into the seats. 21 seconds remaining in the power play. 2-2 is your score. And again, we welcome our audience across Canada on TSN. I'm Jiggs McDonald at Ed Westfall. Game 2 of the series at the Cap Center. Washington leading 1-0.
Paul Cavallini helping the linesman and the referee out. He was pointing at Flatley, saying that the puck deflected as he shot it off Flatley. They must have understood him because they took the face-off out into the neutral zone. Benoit Hogue, a little better in this hockey game. Seems to be skating better. There you see the difference. 2-1. The Islanders out shooting the Washington Capitals, but that has nothing to do with the score. It's tied at 2-2.
This was one of those strange regular season series where the Islanders won every game. All 3 played in this building and lost all 4 played at the Nassau Coliseum. Washington turned it around with a 3-1 win on Sunday night. Final seconds of the penalty against this Washington goaltender. Kickoff here. Yuri Krupp handles the puck up the middle to Flatley. Across the line. A check on the play by Wrigley. Carpenter, who has been serving the penalty, is released from the box. And Flatley brings the puck to the line, but it's a 2-line pass.
It'll be interesting to see now whether the Islanders are able to maintain the kind of game that had got them to 32 shots on goal, and as I had pointed out earlier, they missed the net with several good scoring chances. Tabaracci has sparkled in goal for Washington. Terry Murray, as he tries to get his team up ready. Now they've just killed off a penalty. We'll see whether or not they'll be able to use that as something to get themselves going with again here early in the 3rd period.
9 consecutive penalties that they have killed off through the first 2 games in this set. Travis Green has Brad Delgarno on the right, Brian Mullen on the left. The Caps countering with Christich on the left side, Pabanka in the middle, and Bondra is their right winger. Jeff Norton with a pass to Travis Green, got checked by Christich. Now it opens up for Bondra, shoots that one high and wide on the glove side. Cavallini in off the blue line, to Bondra back of the net. Trying to come out in front, Norton chased him back. Bondra and Pabanka both taken off the puck. And here comes Rich Pilon with a pass to Brad Delgarno. Delgarno can't get it to Mullen waiting on the left side. Delgarno turns, shoots it into the Washington zone. And the Islanders will head for a player change as Cavallini headed for the puck. Paul Cavallini. Wandra off Krieger at the Islander line. Now Cote dumps it in, and the Caps get to play onside again. Vladimir Malakov. A burst of speed as he tried to get away from Krieger, but it's broken up at center ice. Krieger takes once and then shot it off Baskey, and we watch Malakov handle it here. High in the air, knocked down, cleared by Loisel, but held in at the blue line. Then Johansson gets checked. Loisel battled by Hunter. 2-on-1, and it comes right to Healy on a weak shot, and he's held it for a face-off. It's still the Islanders 2, the Capitals 2.
So you're actually putting money away.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I've changed. Especially since the baby.
You gotta be real proud. So what do you have your savings in?
I have in savings.
What kind of savings?
In a bank.
Want to do me a favor? Talk to my broker, Payne Weber. You probably manage that money a lot better than the bank.
This is my savings we're talking about here. I mean, how's a broker supposed to know what I need?
They'll ask.
Announcing a limited one-of-a-kind offer. For the next few weeks, your Team Pontiac dealer is offering a special edition loaded Grand Am for $12,999. Right, $12,999 and loaded with air, ABS, fuel injection, automatic power steering and door locks, stereo, rear window defroster, fog lamps, and more. About $7,000 less than an Accord AX and $8,000 less than a Camry LE. This is a limited offer. $12,999 for a loaded Grand Am. Now at your New York, New Jersey, Connecticut Team Pontiac dealer. Hurry, don't miss this opportunity.
New York Islanders hockey is being brought to you by Mobil. Mobil One synthetic motor oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection? Hogue and Hunter on the face-off in the Islander zone, and Huey Krupp moves it around, but too far for Kasparaitis. This is Todd Krieger with Krupp pushing him off the puck. Hunter in the corner, able to get it back to the blue line, and this is Hatcher, working it across to Kalle Johansson. Now to Elena. Stripped of him. Hogue with a drive. He scores!
The Islanders switch lines a little bit. They send Tommy Fitzgerald out with Flatley and Hogue, and things pay off. That was insurance for the face-off, I'm pretty sure. But what a job by Benoit Hogue as he stepped in and intercepted a pass. There it is. On a reverse angle, Benoit Hogue grabbed the puck, and from about 35 feet, Hatcher trying to move down on him, bang. He beat Tabaracci just inside the goalpost to the right of the goaltender. Here's Benoit Hogue. Head up and just blisters a hard drive there off the inside of the post. Look where Tabaracci is. He was out covering a lot of the angle, but somehow Benoit Hogue with a blistering drive found it in just inside the post. The Islanders have regained a one-goal lead.
3 times they have led in this hockey game. Hogue stays out for the Islanders. Playing with Flatley and Ferraro as his line mates. They gave the puck away at the line, and Cote just shot it wide of Glenn Healy. Flatley to Ferraro. He's tipped it down into the Washington zone. Brady back to pick it up. Islanders 3, Capitals 2. This is Michael Pabanka leading the Washington run. Dumped it in well wide of the net. Flatley will get back. Christich on him. It comes around to Bondra. Put it out in front, but Krupp is there to clear it. Didn't get it out. Cote shot. That hit Christich in front of the net, and Flatley steps to the right wing board. On to Ray Ferraro. Ferraro coming to the left side. Flatley jumps in on the play now, but down to the net is Tabaracci. The Caps try to come out of the zone. Pabanka to Bondra. Peter Bondra driving on Baskey's side of the ice. Chased behind the net. Baskey pushes him to the far corner. Bondra protected the puck well, but then gave it away to Malakov. Up the ice he comes. Vladimir Malakov. Again, about 3 strides, and he's at the center ice stripe. Delgarno nudges it across. Travis Green battling for it here. So is Delgarno, and it pops loose for Cavallini. Paul Cavallini reverses things. Zelenak drops it back. Hatcher able to swing it across. The Caps in a player change. Get control of it. Hunter is over the blue line. Hunter to the corner. Krieger centers. Zelenak to the front of the net. Ran into Healy, and the Islanders are able to come away with the loose puck. Ryan Mullen shot it off Hatcher. Evan Hatcher going back. Delgarno bumps him. Stuck on the end boards. Controlled by Hatcher, then knocked loose. Taken by Krieger. On to Elena. Hunter with them as they hit the center ice stripe. Krieger is over the Islander line. The pass to Elena. Back to Krieger and went right through to Healy, who covers it and gets a face-off. 14 minutes, 41 seconds remaining in the third period. So a face-off in the Islander end of the ice.
Going to the net was Hunter. Again, Healy complained in the last game to Mark Fawcett, the referee, that too many of the Washington Capitals were crashing into his goal crease, getting to him. That time he decided to hang on to the puck to see what happened, and he turned around. Guess who was there? Dale Hunter.
The Islanders making a late change, and referee Dvorsky looks to Terry Murray at the Washington bench. He will go with the line that he had out there. Hunter, Elenuck, and Krieger, who has the puck now. Todd Krieger pushed to the boards by Pilon. Elenuck gets checked. Hunter steps in. Norton on him. Off comes the helmet again, and here's Tommy Fitzgerald. Up to Turgeon. He's across the line with King in the middle. Turgeon to King, and it was just out of his reach. Eric King left it for Thomas. Turgeon pushed away from the side of the net. Thomas had nobody to give it to, and now Norton has to come back to center and dump it in. The Islanders get the play onside. Meantime, Norton and Hunter are still back inside the Islander blue line.
Last time Hunter had the puck, Jeff Norton made a good move on him, Jiggs. He played the body, took Hunter down.
Here's a 2-on-1. The deflection came off the side of the net as Turgeon was unable to get it to King cleanly. Dale Hunter has both Washington goals in this game. He's given the puck to Pat Elenuck. Up the left side to Cote. Cote drops it back. Hunter with a shot that hits Pilon, and the Islanders move it up ahead for King. Turgeon comes down the left side. Kasparaitis jumps up on the play as King gets it across the line. Gave it to Kasparaitis for a shot that was wide. Here Turgeon nudges it back to the net. Thomas to chase it here. Steve Thomas trying to reverse things on Carpenter. Protected the puck. King gets to it. Sends it back to Kasparaitis. Pulling to the right side. Looks to Krupp. Kasparaitis shoots one. Glove save, and it's held by Rick Tabaracci.
Game stays physical. Dale Hunter always physical. Going back to the check by Norton, one of the best ones he's thrown in the series so far. He knocked Hunter down. Hunter took offense to it. They stayed tangled. They pawed at each other. Hunter had his helmet popped off. As he goes back now to pick it up, that's what the fans are reacting to. There's Norton, number 8, Hunter, number 32. There's the check. Norton turned and pushed him, knocked him down, helmet with it. Boom, look at the left punch into the face of Norton. And this was after that. This is well after it. Norton now in pursuit of the puck. Hunter, you know what he's got in mind. That's on a reverse angle. Waltzing Matilda. You're a little out of step, boys. You better get it together. Turn the music up. They stay locked for the longest time. Hunter challenging Norton. Norton challenging back.
The judge from Finland gave them a 5.8. Technical. 13-16 the time remaining in the third period. Well, there's nothing quite like ice dancing. Carpenter unable to touch the puck in the center ice zone, and as Vasky hustles back, an icing call made against the Washington Capitals. Here at Landover, it's the Islanders 3, the Capitals 2.
There was one thing about Bud that we kept hearing over and over.
Now that's fresh beer. Huh? Okay, let's say this is the original Budweiser brewery in St. Louis. There's another one in Texas.
And 2 more in Florida.
New York, California, New Jersey.
Over a dozen of them.
So Budweiser doesn't have to truck their beer clean across the country.
So you know it's fresh.
Right.
Is that my beer in New Jersey?
Check out SportsChannel in May. Jeff Torborg's Mets slug it out with the NL champion Braves, the Pittsburgh Pirates, expansion Marlins, Cubs, Dodgers, and more. At the plate with Rusty Staub serves up terrific baseball conversation starting May 20th. For kids, Dynamets is great Saturday morning fun. And remember, SportsChannel is the place for coverage of local NHL playoff action. It's all coming your way in May on SportsChannel.
It's a jam-packed press box in the Capitol Center tonight. Terry Raisinen of Finnish Radio is here, pumping the game back to Finland. Stanislav Mundil of the Czech press. Jan Spid, Czech Radio, and they've got 3 Slovak television people here covering the game tonight, along with Jiggs and Ed. The Islanders with a 1-goal lead, and Loisel almost made it 2. Nice stop by Rick Tabaracci, seeing that all the way through a screen. Donker for the Caps, to Bondra, and they get to center ice. Christich handling the puck as he comes over the line. Bondra got knocked down, looked for a penalty. There's none to be called. Christich nudges it back. Cavallini lets it go. Pad save. The rebound is turned aside. Another shot hits the post. The Islanders end up shooting it down the ice. The fans at the far end are standing and cheering. The puck didn't go in the net. Still a 3-2 Islander lead. Loisel puts it in front. Fitzgerald couldn't get a stick on it in the Washington zone, and it's cleared out by the Caps. And as Fasky steps over center ice, fires it around the boards. The off-ice officials, the goal judges, I remind you again, are from Philadelphia. The light never came on. The puck didn't enter the net. Camp up in the boards, deep in the Washington zone. Mullen pulled the puck out of there. Now play has been called. And the Caps have requested a video replay. Hatcher, as you see, delivering the message on behalf of Terry Murray and the Caps, the referee Paul Dvorsky.
I'd be a little concerned if I was an Islander, Jig. It was off the rebound. Good stop by Healy. Then there was another shot. He made the save there as he kicked it out. Here's the backhand shot. Hard to tell whether or not. I couldn't see the wrinkling of the twine. It didn't seem to move. But the puck seemed to come out as if it may have caught twine. We'll have to wait and see. I did not see by anything there the puck go in the net. Watch the netting now. There's the backhand shot. That's in the net.
Golly, it did.
Top right-hand corner in under the crossbar. I thought it took a little too much time for that puck to come out, and it hit the crossbar inside the net. So the goal judge did not see it hit the twine because it hit the bar. So the backhand shot by Christich will probably be a goal. Yes, you could tell by the reaction of the fans. About the same spot that Hunter scored the winning goal in Game 1. This one off a backhand shot. So the video replay, an asset to the Washington Capitals, a hindrance to what the Islanders were trying to do. But the Islanders make a big mistake. They get outnumbered in front of their net. And a dangerous player, Christich, there's his backhand shot. Bondra had two chances. Healy stopped them both. And the same disease that inflicted the Islanders in the first game in the third period has gotten them again here in the third. Here's a reverse angle of that same play. One stop by Healy. There's two stops by Healy. And it's off that rebound that the backhand shot by Christich went in the net.
Dmitry Christich had not scored a goal in the last 14 games of the regular season. He was blanked here in Game 1 on Sunday night. It's a 3-3 tie, thanks to Christich.
He got the insurance marker on a deflection in Game 1. A shot by Pivonka that hit him on the lower part of the hockey stick on the shaft and got in behind Healy, so he has scored an important goal here again tonight.
That's his fifth Stanley Cup playoff goal. First series, of course, against the New York Islanders. It's brand new again, a 3-3 tie, and Healy leaves the puck back to the net for Jeff Norton. Islanders trying to move it out. Hatcher takes it inside the line, gave it to Johansson. This crowd really alive now. Carpenter mishandled it at the line, then picked it up and dumped it in. Pivonka and Bondra getting the assists on that goal, tying the game at 3-3. The Caps trying to apply some pressure. Carpenter has played it around the end boards. Healy nudges it up the wings toward Derek King. Dropped it back. Norton to play it, lost it to Ridley. Marks at the side of the net, centered, loose puck, and Thomas steps in for the Islanders and is able to clear it out. Racing back, Washington Capitals captain, Big Kevin Hatcher, goes to the left side to Krieger. Krieger with Miller and Ridley. They don't get through center ice cleanly, and Derek King looks to Darius Kasparaitis. Across to Thomas, he ran into Hunter. Johansson plays it down the boards. Backboard is Huey Kruk. 11.5 minutes to play in the third period. Kruk taking it from Kasparaitis, comes to center ice. Overled Flatley at the line. Cabaracci left it for Iafrate, gave it away to Hogue. Centering pass was tipped. Flatley with it. Iafrate goes to the ice. Flatley trying to center, kick the puck to Hogue. Kasparaitis comes in off the point. The pass back to the opposite point is broken up. And out comes Krieger. Iafrate jumps up on the play. There's the pass. Iafrate shot it wide. Flatley ended up in the back of the net, and Kasparaitis can't get it out of the zone on the initial effort. Turns, feeds it across the hole. Up to Krupp, over the Washington line. Krupp around Iafrate. The centering pass, and Ferraro can't get a stick on it. Now Ray Ferraro frees it up. Krupp with a shot off the pads. It comes out in front and kicked away from Hogue. Ellenuk brings it out. Man, what a battle we've got here. Krieger drops it back. The shot from Ellenuk. Blocked by Vasky, and then he takes Ellenuk to the deck. Up with it here is Ray Ferraro. Across to Brad Delgarno. Lays it on into the Washington zone. Hatcher back for it now. Evan Hatcher up ahead. Here's Cavallini into the Islander zone. Vasky straight in the butt on a hit. Healy plays it toward the corner. Through Mullen all the way back to the line. Cavallini centers one off Vasky's skates. Delgarno goes to the boards. Played it behind Green at center ice. Cavallini turns it up the wing. It's picked off by Green. Right into the catching glove of Rick Tabaracci. 10 minutes exactly remaining now in the third period regulation time. Kevin Hatcher sends Dmitry Christich out of the zone. The Michael Pavanka. Pavanka can't get through the Islander defense. Molotov touches it back to the goal, but right to Bondra. Can't center that in front as Norton got in his face. Here is Pavanka. Centered it right to nothing doing. Johansson lets one go that's blocked. Ryan Mullen looks up ice. Mullen and Green right at the end of the shift. Mullen holds the puck and dumps it in. Tabaracci out of the goal, leaving it for Calle Johansson. Up ahead for Carpenter, too far. Norton chases it back. Norton to Pilon. King, Turgeon, and Thomas on the ice for the Islanders. This is Turgeon. Turgeon can't get it around his man, the defenseman, and Anderson with Tabaracci covering it, holds the puck. Another little battle, little scrum back in the net.
Fans enjoying the fact Ridley was the one that got to Pierre Turgeon as he circled behind the net, tried to bring the puck to the front of the net. Iafrate with this backhand pass. Iafrate is streaking for the net. Flatley trying to keep him in check. Flatley ends up in the net. The puck ends up in the corner, and the Islanders grab it, head back down the ice. Back and forth we go. A tremendous hockey game here at the Capitol Center. The Islanders led. Washington tied it. The Islanders led again, only to see Hunter get his second goal of the game, fourth of the playoffs to tie it. And Benoit Hogue regained it for the third time, only to see Christich tie it at 3.
I may have misled folks and mentioned that Christich hadn't scored during the last 14 games of the regular season. He did have one here on Sunday night. To go along with the pair from Dale Hunter. So it's been the same story tonight. Hunter and Christich getting the 3 Washington goals. Turgeon has scored twice. Hogue has the other for the Islanders. Puck played over the boards into the Washington bench. This game tied 3-3.
If you've ever struggled with a handheld trimmer, you'll love this revolutionary new kind of trimmer on wheels. Just look how easy it rolls on those 2 big wheels and glides in any direction on this front-mounted mobile. It's perfect for trimming around rocks, along fences, buildings, sidewalks, and in all those hard-to-reach corners. The new DR is also a mower. It cuts tall grass, waist-high weeds, even wet grass and rough areas with never-before ease. There's no steel blade to bend or dull. You'll just love what the DR Trimmer Mower can do for you and your property. A big color catalog is just $2. Call toll-free 1-800-654-3900. That's 1-800-654-3900 for your big color catalog all about the revolutionary DR Trimmer Mower.
Capacity crowd at the Capitol Center tonight. Talking with General Manager David Boyle prior to the game, and he said that's a problem here. He's very concerned about the drop-off in attendance, and especially at playoff time. He thinks if they can come through this series, and who knows how far, things will get back to what they have been in the past here. Said that the Sunday ratings for the nationally televised game produced better audiences in Baltimore than it did in D.C., or the metro area here. Maybe we're marketing the game to the wrong people. Meantime, the Islanders are into the Washington zone. Flatley dropped it to Ferraro. Centered. Tabaracci knocked it down. Flatley couldn't get it teed up. He and Hunter go to the end boards. That's Cote up the near boards and right to the stick of Pat Elenuck. Ahead to Krieger, too far. Healy comes out. Let it go. Huey Krupp touches. Call made against Washington.
Pretty good matchup down to the left of Rick Tabarachi as Flatley went in to pick up a puck. Hunter was on him. Hunter has his helmet now in the grasp of the goaltender. What a great matchup of two players that are in your face all the time. There's Hunter. Flatley trying to get the puck, trying to get it onto his stick. Tabarachi trying to keep it away from the front of the net. And here they come, two of them, two great corner men, two of the best in the league. Look at this, hand in the face in the face. They get a piece of you all the time. They don't want to let go either. Flatley battling with Hunter, trying to get his head down low, does, finally rips the helmet off him for no other reason than to say take that.
On the tying goal in this third period, Christich's second goal of the series, the assist to Pabanka has been changed to Reed Cavallini. Now Christich from Cavallini and Bondra.
They may have changed the time of it too, Jiggs, because the play, you'll remember, went on for quite some time after the goal was scored.
2-0. Here's a chance for the Caps. Oh, what a save as Burridge bore right in on Healy. Baskey and Hunter in the corner. Puck tied up, now comes loose. Boychel got bounced around, and the puck ends up on Malakov's stick. 24-year-old Vladimir Malakov fires one from center ice that misses. All Cavallini back for Washington. Picked up by Fitzgerald. The puck comes out into the center ice zone. Norton will recover inside the Islander blue line. Jeff Norton, Rich Pilon. He is guided through center ice. Meantime, Fitzgerald jumps up. He's into the Washington zone. Runs into Cavallini. 2 14s are down on the ice, and the puck is loose back of the net. Tabarachi out the player. Got it into center ice. Here's Claude Loisel shooting it right back in again, and the Islanders get the play onside.
Speaking of two lines that like to finish their checks, they're out there now. 6 players that all love to hit.
And 7 minutes remaining in the third period. Fitzgerald dumps the puck in for the Islanders. Fitzgerald playing with Mullen and Vakota at the moment. Now Travis Green has come out on the ice. Green, number 39, will chase the puck back into the Islander zone. Delgado replaces Vakota. So Mullen is united with his regular centerman and winger. Nice play by Brad Delgado to break up what appeared to be a Washington setup in the Islander zone. This is Cote. Sylvain Cote to Iafrate, down to Bondra, off his stick, and back goes Norton. Norton faced behind the net. Carries it into the center ice zone. The pass was behind Green. Iafrate and Green go to the end board solidly, and an icing call made. Iafrate went down heavily, didn't he? He has that left thigh all bandaged up.
Coming in, he missed the last 3 games of the regular season. Not Travis Green, but Al Iafrate. He's not bashful about walking around here in his shorts before the game with this huge pack on his left thigh and the left hamstring area up and down the back of his leg. There's Randy Burridge with a great scoring opportunity. Glenn Healy makes a fine stop, and in trying to get up, bounces his stick off the back of Randy Burridge. Watch again. There's Burridge as he gets a step, gets in behind Vladimir Malakov, and Healy bails them out.
23 shots on goal now for the Washington Capitals.
Here's the hit, Jiggs, a moment ago. Travis Green on Al Iafrate. Well, the best defense is a good offense, even if you're going in after a loose puck. It's Green, knowing that Iafrate loves to play the body at times. A little like Carl Brewer, he can surprise you all of a sudden. In that situation, he could spring back and knock you flat before you got to the puck. So Green, even though he is green, as a rookie in the NHL, played Iafrate the right way.
Now the situation is this, a 3-3 tie. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third. The Caps won the draw. Hatcher up the slot for a drive that takes off and will end up in the seats.
Good move by Pierre Turgeon. Rather unorthodox. He didn't want to get in the way of the shot, but he got out far enough to get his stick in front of it as Kevin Hatcher, with a fine move at the point, got a lot of free ice by moving the puck towards the center of the ice and then skating toward the net.
Face off at the point of the deflection, just outside the edge of the circle to the left of Glenn Healy and nearest the blue line. Ridley, Miller, and Carpenter for the Capitals against Turgeon, Thomas, and Hogue for the Islanders. Hogue is on the left side, replacing King. The Caps get the draw. Hatcher up the slot again. Tugged at by Thomas, and the puck ends up in the corner. Over goes Krupp to play it away from Miller, on to Kasparaitis. There he is, Kasparaitis finds Turgeon moving through center ice. Across the line as he pulls to right wing. Pulls up again on Johansson and can't make the play. Johansson shoves him to the boards. Kasparaitis is there. Turgeon to Thomas, couldn't pick it up, and the Caps are able to move it out to center. Back on it is Huey Krupp. Up ice, Turgeon collides with Johansson. Abarachi to play it out of there. Through Miller and down into the Islander zone. It curls through the goal crease, so no icing to be called. Caps on a player change. The Islanders on the transition. Baskey to King. He's across the line. Eric King around Hunter. Shoots one. Kabarachi's got it in the catching glove. An update on the rest of the action around the league. In Pittsburgh, it's 7-0. The Penguins leading the Devils. They've made a goaltending change. Mullen has gotten the 7th one. Bellows has scored for Montreal. Quebec maintaining a 3-1 lead. And, of course, you know, the Buffalo had a lead and have extended it. John Blue has come into the nets for the Boston Bruins, and Dale Howardchuk has scored for the Buffalo Sabres to go along with McGillney, Wood, and Presley tonight. So Buffalo surprising a lot of people, including the Bruins.
Unusual to see that the Boston Bruins 2 games in a row fall that far behind. They caught up in game 1, but were beaten in overtime. And then here in this hockey game, or I should say tonight's game, Buffalo doing something differently than they did during the regular season. Islanders are being outshot now 8-5 here in the 3rd period by the Washington Capitals.
Pilon following the draw, fires and just missed. It comes back to Norton at the left point. In around the boards. Flatley has been pushed away from the goal mouth as the puck comes to center now, recovered by Pilon. Over it goes to Hogue, to Flatley, up the slot, he shoots. Pad save, the rebound, they score! Ferraro and Flatley there together, and Ray Ferraro, I believe, has given the Islanders a lead of 4-3.
Good play at the point position. That's where the Islanders gained the advantage. And it was Flatley flying to the net. It was the follow-up by Ray Ferraro that got the goal for the Islanders. So for the 4th time in the game, here's Flatley as he grabbed the puck, fired it at the net. Tabarachi with the save. There's the rebound. Bang. I'm not so sure that Ray Ferraro did put it in. We'll have to take another look. Maybe it'll go to Flatley. Here's Flatley as he grabbed the puck on a pass from Hogue, I believe. He went in and took the shot. Watch what Cote does as he turns around. There's the rebound. Camera stays there, but there's the puck bouncing, rolling. Almost looked as though Cote had Ferraro tied up, but somehow he may have gotten it loose just in time to deflect it. But either way, the Islanders have regained the lead. 5 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. They have an advantage of 1.
The goal has been credited to Ray Ferraro with assist to Hogue and Flatley. It all began with Hogue, and he got the puck to the line here in the Islander zone, only to have Cote dump it in deeper. Now Patrick Flatley, Ray Ferraro, up to Benoit Hogue, onto the stick of Dennis Baskey. Baskey plays it deep into the Washington zone. The Islanders going for a player change. Avellini back with the puck. Tries to carry it up the middle of the ice. Went to the left side. Ellenuk tips it into the Islander zone. Burridge got checked. Ellenuk with a shot to this. Off the near boards, controlled by Hunter. Then he gave it away to Mullen. The Caps regain control, and Cote has shot it in. Huey Krupp steps out of there. The pass to Mullen on left wing, but it's offside, a 2-line pass. This game is coming to you from the Capitol Center.
Hi from Snapple. Today I got a letter from a young guy who writes, I love your all-natural beverages. Do you allow people to tour your plant? Okay.
Welcome to Snapple World Headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Stephen. Did you see our artwork?
Very nice.
What are you drinking? Pink lemonade. This is a marvelous drink. Cherry lime Ricky. Tea. Taste that peach. Ooh. And this is the men's room. Now you're a Snapple man. Look at that.
Snapple's made from the best stuff on earth.
Introducing a revolutionary new form of antiperspirant protection. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. Because it's a clear, clean, powerful gel, it goes on smoothly with no white residue to form an invisible barrier of protection. All-day protection against both wetness and odor. New Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. One of the advanced deodorants and antiperspirants in the Gillette series.
We'll eliminate any doubts that Ray Ferraro put it in. There's the shot. Watch Ferraro. There's his stick down low. Cote trying to check him. The rebound as it comes out off Tabarachi. There's the backhand shot by Ray Ferraro with handcuffs on. He got the job done.
Goal in each game. He's got a string going dating back to the last 3 games of the regular season. But right now, the Islanders trying to protect this lead. Hatcher steps up on the play. Only to have Turgeon bunted away as Ridley tried to get it back to him. Now Thomas at the Washington line is able to dump it in, and we watch Hatcher chase the puck. Under 4 minutes to go in the third period. Hatcher got away from Thomas, comes to center ice. On into the zone, around Baskey. Low shot turned aside. Derek King ends up playing it off the boards, down the ice. There's a scuffle going on back of the play. Caps able to clear it out of the zone. Up with it is Miller. He's across the Islander line with Ridley tight on the right wing boards. Miller driving in on Baskey is chased back in the net. It comes right out in front and shot wide on the deflection. This is Derek King. Flips it high in the air, bouncing it into the Washington zone. Iafrate trying to clear it out of there. Cote. Delgarno took it away. Found Green at the Washington line, and the play goes offside.
When he looks at that man in the highlight film in the dressing room tomorrow, Jiggs, Travis Green is going to think about going to the forehand to make a pass rather than move it on the backhand. Had he just shoveled it over on the backhand, the Islanders would have kept things alive. They'd have created a good scoring opportunity. But Travis Green pulled the puck to the forehand, put the play offside.
Islanders with 8 shots on goal in this period. The Caps with 9.
Watch number 8 here in the white. Christich is going to get a great scoring chance there. Hardly tied up, but he couldn't get a good shot away. Brad Delgarno stayed close enough, kept him off balance that he couldn't get the weight forward and jam the puck at the net. He shot it wide.
Delgarno on the right side, Green in the middle, Mullen on the left for the Islanders. Out against Pavonka, Bondra, and Christich for the Caps.
Big shift here for the defensive line of the Islanders, led by Travis Green at center ice.
Now Delgarno goes in after a loose puck. Iafrate pushed at him after he had moved it around the end boards. And up with it is Dimitri Christich. Cote in the middle. Off his stick. His stick came up on him. There's going to be a penalty on Jeff Norton, I believe. Christich shaken to the boards, and as Mullen handles the puck, the whistle sounds. Norton will be chased to the penalty box with 2 minutes and 50 seconds to play in the third period.
Christich is cut, I believe, Jiggs. It's the actions that the players are making. You see the referee pointing? That could be Jeff Norton to the Islander dressing room.
Exactly. He is gone. A major penalty. Or is it Pilon? It's Rich Pilon that has been ticketed.
Take another look. There's the stick up, down into the face of Cote. Cote swings with his arm in the air, off balance, drawing the attention. 5-minute major for high sticking and a game misconduct with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the hockey game. What a blow to the Islanders, who had just regained the lead for the 4th time in the hockey game when Ray Ferraro scored at 14:50. And here, with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the hockey game, the Islanders are going to be a man short for the remainder of this game. And if the Washington Capitals were to get a goal into overtime, the only plus for the Islanders out of this is that they'll be able to ice the puck.
On the night, the Washington Capitals do have a power play goal on 3 earlier opportunities. This is the first penalty called in the third period. So a big test for the Islander penalty killers. Hogue and Fitzgerald will be the forwards. Molotov and Baskey the defense combination. Hunter is at center ice. Pavonka is on the right. Christich is on the left with Johansson and Hatcher at the points for Washington. 2 linesmen, Scapinello and Asselstein. Discuss it momentarily, then Scapinello goes back to drop the puck between Hunter and Hogue.
In game 1, there were 12 penalties called. That's the number now in this hockey game.
Caps got the draw. Hatcher went to the left side. Christich gave it right back to him. Now to Johansson. Fires. That hit Tommy Fitzgerald, and he's able to clear it down the ice. First man back is Hatcher. Up now to Johansson, through center ice, on to Christich on the right wing board. Sneaks in a little deeper, drops it back, but outside the line as Hatcher couldn't get to it. Hatcher has given it to Dmitri Christich, on to Hunter's stick, with Pavanka on the right side. Hunter cruises in as Pavanka holds it, now gives it to Hunter and got it right back. Looks to the blue line, fed Johansson, back to Pavanka. They like to go down low, but this time they set up outside. Pavanka shoots, pad save, and the rebound went right to Fitzgerald.
What a stop by Glenn Healy, Jiggs, and that was with a lot of bodies in front of him. Somehow he saw the puck soon enough to get a right pad on it.
Now 1:54, the time remaining in the third period. Islanders 4, Capitals 3. Iafrate slams it around the boards, over to the left side. Ridley into the corner for Bondra. Around to Christich. He got bumped solidly by Flatley, and the Islanders free it up and clear it down. Nice play by Darius Kasparaitis.
That's an excellent play. A little dangerous, but he seemed to look up and see the hole, then shot it down the ice.
90 seconds in regulation. Bondra dumps it in. Kasparaitis turns and goes back. Darius Kasparaitis up the boards. Flatley got checked. Mullen is able to clear the zone, and Cote drops back. 1:19 to play. Regulation time. Here's Elena. Bondra rubbed out by Flatley. Cote held it in. Ridley centers. Back to the line. Iafrate shoots. That one wide. What a booming shot. Cote at the right point. Once more to the freighter. And his drive is blocked well out in front of the net. Fitzgerald will clear it. We're at the 19-minute mark. Didn't get it out of there. They still have the goaltender on the ice. The Caps could go for an extra man. And they start to make that motion as the play is called now in the Islander zone. 50.2 seconds in regulation.
What a job by Glenn Healy. What a job by the Islander penalty killers so far on this long penalty. A lot of pressure, the mental pressure, harder than the physical at this point of the hockey game. Tom Fitzgerald with an opportunity to put the puck down the ice. Not only to kill the clock and keep it going, but that would have kept the goaltender, Tabarachi, in the net.
The Washington Capitals have asked for their 30-second timeout. Well, Islanders 4, Capitals 3. Al Arbor getting a rest for his penalty killers. The Caps talking over strategy. No doubt they'll keep Tabarachi on the bench with the face-off in the Islander zone here. Surprisingly, in a playoff game with a score 4-3, a lot of folks have headed for the exit.
I can't believe it. Their team is on a power play. There's 50 seconds remaining. They have just had two great scoring opportunities. Glenn Healy with a pad save on one. The other one was blocked. Here's the ripping drive by Iafrate a moment ago. That was Pavanka, excuse me, from that side. Iafrate would have been shooting it from the other, but that was Pavanka's shot. I don't know how Healy got his right pad on it, but he did. And then at the point position, here's Al Iafrate, who shot the puck harder. There, it deflected just wide of the net. He shot it harder than anybody else in the National Hockey League in the skills competition at the All-Star game.
Let's set it up for you. Terry Murray has Hatcher, Johansson as his defenseman. He'll have Pavanka with Hunter, Ridley, and Christich up front. Hatcher has moved up. The lone man back is Johansson. For the Islanders, it'll be Hogue and Fitzgerald. Molotov and Vasky, the defense combination. The officials trying to keep everybody on the edge of the circle here. Vasky and Pavanka had cheated in. Now Hunter lines up with Hogue. Hunter turns, wins the draw. Johansson at the left point, into Pavanka. Pavanka swing board. In a little deeper, looks to Johansson, gave him the puck. Back to Pavanka. In deeper, this is Hunter, centers. It's cleared away by the Islanders, and Fitzgerald will get it out of the zone. 32 seconds left. Tipping right back in by Hatcher. The Caps have to get the play onside and yet to do so, and the puck ends up in the seats.
That puck went off the Washington Capital player, Christich, Jiggs, and the Islanders are going to play linesman, and they're going to help Ray Scampanella get the puck out into the neutral zone. That's where the Islanders want the face-off with 26 seconds remaining in the third period, and the Islanders hanging on to a slim one-goal lead. There was Hunter trying to get the puck and was successful. Healy took it from the front of the net, jammed it, and then lifting it out into the center ice area was Tom Fitzgerald. It was an interesting move that Hatcher all of a sudden decided to shoot it right back in rather than wait for his teammates to clear. So in other words, he handed the puck away.
Washington Capitals will get a face-off, this time between Flatley and Christich, as it's outside the blue line. Well, this whole scene shifts to the Nassau Coliseum on Long Island Thursday night and again Saturday night. We'll have the action for you on SportsChannel. Hope you'll be out to catch these two teams. Hatcher to Johansson, and he fires it in off Healy's goal stick. And as Vasky slams it up the boards, held at the line, Johansson, and that is deflected over the glass with 14.5 seconds to play.
That deflection came out near the blue line. Again, that's in the favor of the Islanders. They have it just about 5 feet inside the blue line, which is so much better than down in deep. In this case, the Washington Capitals with 2 extra skaters and no room to move, so it really doesn't make any difference. If they jam the puck ahead, the Islanders have a good chance of getting it, shooting it down the ice, and that should be it.
Flatley and Hunter on the draw. The puck stayed in the zone. Johansson checked by Flatley and ends up behind the net. Bondra chases it over to the left wing. Into the corner, Christie centers, a drive off the post, they scored!
All those people in the parking lot will probably not get back in as this game gets ready to go to overtime. They hit the goalpost, the Washington Capitals, the first attempt, and it was again off the rebound. There's the puck off the post, and guess who's standing there hammering it in? Hunter. Dale Hunter. Watch the clock in the lower right-hand corner. There, the Islanders missed the chance. Johansson put it off the post, and Hunter took the rebound, jammed it in. It's a 4-4 tie. 4 times in this hockey game, the Islanders have taken a lead. 4 times now, the Washington Capitals have found a way to come back. Dale Hunter, after Johansson hit the goal post, put in the rebound.
And keep in mind, a major penalty on Rich Pilon. It'll carry over to overtime. There'll still be 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in that penalty on Pilon when overtime gets underway. I don't think anybody can score in the final 2.6 of a second left here. Hunter has 3 tonight and 5 in the first 2 games of this series. Johansson and Christich get the assists on the goal at 19:57. And Winger, who you just had a look at, the mascot here, or the entertainment between periods, is loving it, as are these fans.
2.5 seconds remaining. Just drop the puck and let the clock run out. Let the players go to the dressing rooms. That's the way it ends. What a comeback. What a disappointment for the Islanders. Rich Pilon to take a 5-minute major penalty with 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the hockey game, and his hockey team leading by 1. The fans that have remained here, pretty noisy, pretty happy.
Here's the situation. We have overtime in game 2 of this series. Through 60 minutes, the Islanders and the Capitals finish up 4-4 as Hunter scores at 19:57 from Johansson and Christich. And overtime, no stranger to these 2 franchises, and we'll have that for you from the Capitol Center. We'll have an intermission coming up through 60 minutes. It's the Islanders 4 and the Washington Capitals 4.
Yeah, that's me. And it still seems like a dream. But you don't have to be an Olympic marathoner to enjoy the benefits of running. Hi, I'm Frank Shorter from Runner's World magazine. Did you know that in as little as 2 minutes, 3 times a week, you can trim down, shape up, and have more energy than you ever thought possible? This free book shows you how. It's filled with super training tips for stronger and smoother running. And it's yours free, just for trying Runner's World.
Every month, Runner's World tells you all about high-energy meals, training secrets, staying healthy, even buying the perfect running shoes. Call now for your no-risk trial subscription to Runner's World. You'll get 12 big issues for almost half off the cover price. Just 3 payments of $5.99. There's no obligation. If you're not completely satisfied, get back every penny you paid. And with your paid subscription, you'll receive the exclusive Runner's World training log. Call the toll-free number on your screen now.
The GMC Jimmy is already loaded with a powerful V6 engine and 4-wheel anti-lock brakes standard. And now we've dropped in a few extras. Like reclining seats, air conditioning, a killer stereo, tinted glass, and much more. Now, how do we load you into a Jimmy? With this limited time smart lease.
Drop in to your Tri-State GMC truck dealer today.
Wednesday on Sports Channel, slugger Bobby Bonilla leads the Mets when they host Will Clark and the San Francisco Giants. The Mets slug it out with the Giants Wednesday at 7:30. Mets on deck at 7:15. Live and exclusive on Sports Channel. Coming soon to Sports Channel. You like the season?
Oh, you gotta love it!
Now, get ready for the playoffs.
That's a Bada
The Mets 1993 NBA playoffs. Coming soon on Sports Channel.
We're back at the Capitol Center in Landover, Maryland, where the Capitals have staged a comeback on a power play. A major penalty to Rich Pilon, sets up a power play opportunity. And the penalty right here, Pilon stick getting up into the face of Sylvain Cote. Cote grabbing at his face. The referee, Paul Dvorsky, took a look at him, awarded the 5-minute major penalty, and now here's the goal. Off the post, as Eddie described, Johansson shot, and Hunter right there. Peck's bad boy, and he has been a thorn in the side of the New York Islanders through this series. That's the goal at 19:57 that has sent this game to overtime. Here is your game summary for Mobile. The Islanders come out of the first period on a 1-0 lead. Pierre Turgeon's first goal in this series, his 13th Stanley Cup playoff goal with assist to King and Thomas at 13-14. Dale Hunter will tie it at 6:33. His shot came off the goalpost, kicked back into the net by goaltender Glenn Healy, and it's 1-1. Then Pierre Turgeon second from Thomas and Vasky at 12:36 take the Islanders to a 2-1 lead, which held until 15:51 when Hunter scored from Johansson and Carpenter on a power play. Hogue was sitting on a tripping penalty at the time. So through 2 periods, the game is tied 2-2. Benoit Hogue gives the Islanders a 3-2 lead at 3:31 of period 3, scoring his first goal in this series and his 4th ever Stanley Cup playoff goal. It's unassisted. Christich, with his 2nd of the series from Cavallini and Bondra at 7:49, tied the game. Then Ray Ferraro would get his 2nd of the series from Flatley and Hogue at 14:50, giving the Islanders a 4-3 lead. The Pilon's high-sticking major penalty leads to a Washington power play. 2 of 4 with the man advantage, and their 5th power play chance stretches into the overtime. The shot summary for Mobile: 14-6 Islanders in the first period, 17-9 Islanders over the Caps in the second, and in the third, the Capitals outshoot the Islanders 11-8. So the totals there are 39 shots for the Islanders, 26 for the Caps. Specialty teams, Islanders 0-4 on the power play, and the Washington Capitals are 2 on 4, and the 5th, as I've said, goes to overtime, as do we, with the score: the Islanders 4, the Capitals 4. More from Landover, Maryland, right after this.
If you're getting bored with your hair, you should try Topsy Tail, the incredible hair fashion tool that creates exciting new hairstyles in seconds. It's so easy. If you can make a ponytail, you can Topsy Tail. Simply place the topsy tail in the center of the ponytail, thread hair through the loop, and pull for a beautiful new look. And with the same basic steps, you can create dozens of dazzling styles for every occasion in no time. It's all right here in the Glamour Guide. Topsy tail works on any hair type. Kids love topsy tail too. School time, playtime, anytime. It's even great for shoulder length hair. Now for less than the cost of one visit to the hair salon, you can order topsy tail, complete with Glamour Guide for just $12.95. Order now and we'll also send you secrets to French braiding. Create a whole new look and a whole new you. Order topsy tail today.
Credit card users call toll-free 1-800-582-2111. Sorry, no CODs. Or send $12.95 plus $3.50 shipping and handling to the address shown on your screen. Credit card users call now 1-800-582-2111.
Thursday, Sports Channel is the only place for Islanders and Devils playoff hockey. Pierre Turgeon and the Islanders face off with the Capitals. Plus, the Devils battle Lemieux and the Penguins. Game 3 of the division semis, live Thursday on Sports Channel. Coming soon to Sports Channel. You'll like the season.
Oh, you gotta love it!
Now, get ready for the playoffs.
That's a Bonavilla!
The Mets 1993 NBA playoffs. Coming soon on Sports Channel.
Final. Welcome back to the Capitol Center. Now for Nobody Beats the Wiz, let's update what's happened elsewhere tonight. The game at Pittsburgh is over, and a 7-0 shutout for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Sean McEachran scored at 15:01, and Lemieux on a shorthanded goal at 17:41, and the Penguins had a 2-0 lead after the first. Tocchet, Yager, Kevin Stevens, and McEachran all score in the second period, and it's an easy one tonight. Pittsburgh over the Devils, 7-0 and a 2-0 lead in that series. And a final score from Boston, a shutout, as the Buffalo Sabres have defeated the Boston Bruins 4-0. Goaltender Grant Fuhr in the nets again, and Andy Moog replaced by John Blue, Howard, Chuck, Mogilny, Wood, and Presley scoring the goals for Buffalo. In the third period at Quebec, it's a 3-1 lead. The Quebec Nordiques over the Montreal Canadiens. Scott Young with a pair, Lecision has the other for Quebec. Brian Bellows has the only goal for the Montreal Canadiens. That's in the third. Quebec leading by a score of 3-1. Well, as I said, there's been a lot of history made in overtime, and especially these two teams, the New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals. And a feature for you on this intermission, some of the great goals in Islander overtime history. The New York Rangers would play the victim again during the 1979 playoffs. Bobby Nystrom beat John Davidson to a loose puck. And when it popped loose, all Bobby Nye had to beat was an open net. The New York Rangers overcame that loss to beat the Islanders, but it would be some time before they did so again. Nystrom was the man again in the 1980 playoffs, scoring this goal in the second overtime of Game 2 against Buffalo for the victory. But there was another overtime goal that year, which was a little more memorable for Bobby Nye and the Islanders, the one that won the Islanders their first Stanley Cup.
Number 10, Hennig. To Canelli. Here's Canelli with Nystrom. A pass to Nystrom.
John got the assist on that cup-winning goal, and 2 years later, he and Nystrom teamed up again. This time, the victim was the Pittsburgh Penguins. And that goal enabled the New York Islanders to advance deeper into the Cup playoffs. And set up a goal by Michael Bossy in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. That goal set the Nassau Coliseum crowd on fire and helped the New York Islanders to their third straight Stanley Cup, becoming the first American-based team to have won 3 in a row. The Coliseum was the site, and the New York Rangers were the victim again in the 1984 playoffs. Bill Hone. Puck picked up by Patey. And then in 1987, the Islanders traveled to Washington. It took 4 overtime periods, but finally, Pat LaFontaine sent everyone home early Easter Sunday morning with a shot past Bob Mason. The New York Islanders have an all-time playoff record of 25 wins and 7 losses in 32 overtimes prior to tonight, their last overtime game on the road back on April 9th, 1990. They're 13-5 away from the Nassau Coliseum, The Caps are 4-4 on the road. They've won 4 and lost 2 in overtime here. The Islanders and the Caps have overtime just up ahead. Don't go away.
Hi from Snapple. Today I got a letter from a young guy who writes, I love your all-natural beverages. Do you allow people to tour your plant? Okay.
Welcome to Snapple World headquarters. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Stephen. Did you see our artwork?
Very nice.
What are you drinking? Pink lemonade. It's a marvelous drink. Cherry lime Ricky. Tea. Tea. You taste that? Ooh. And this is the men's room. Now you're a Snapple maid. Look at that, huh?
Snapple's made from the best stuff on earth.
Hey, I used to look like you. But the latest equipment, personal trainer, gonna make you more of a man. See, I had a brother that used to flick me, be right here, ouch, you know. And anyway, we have a free trial offer. We got a deal.
The 9X Yellow Pages. It's surprising what the ads can tell you.
This book I could rip in half.
The U.S. Postal Service will pick up 1 or 100 or 1,000 priority mail and express mail packages for just $4.50. That's per pickup, not per package. And we'll even pick up heavy ones. You'll get express mail next day and 2-day priority mail delivery at some of the lowest prices around. So call for a pickup. It's like getting a moving van for $4.50.
We deliver for you.
Welcome back to the excitement here at the Capitol Center in Landover. The battle continues. The fans here, you fans at home, treated to an exceptional hockey game, and we're going on into overtime. Mobile is going to show us the highlights, some of them of the third period. Let's pick up the action. The Islanders are about to score their go-ahead goal. Ray Ferraro, with that backhand shot, made the score 4-3. Flatley and Hogue assisted, and the Islanders were in excellent shape. But then a mistake, a high stick, an errant stick, an accident. The Islanders' Rich Pilon gets the stick into the face of number 3, Sylvain Cote. There's the stick into the face. He cut him. Cote reels back. Pilon leaves the ice, and the Islanders are shorthanded for 5 minutes. With 2 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the hockey game, the goaltender pulled in favor of the extra skater. Cote hits the goal post, and yes, Mr. Everything in this series so far for Washington. Dale Hunter, his third goal of the hockey game, gave it a 4-4 tie, sending the game to overtime. As the teams start to return to the ice, we'll step and be back for the beginning of overtime right after this.
If you've ever struggled with a handheld trimmer, you'll love this revolutionary new kind of trimmer on wheels. Just look how easy it rolls on those 2 big wheels and glides in any direction on this front-mounted mobile. It's perfect for trimming around rocks, along fences, buildings, sidewalks, and in all those hard-to-reach corners. The new DR is also a mower. It cuts tall grass, waist-high weeds, even wet grass and rough areas with never-before ease. There's no steel blade to bend or dull. You'll just love what the DR trimmer mower can do for you and your property. A big color catalog is just $2. Call toll-free 1-800-654-3900. That's 1-800-654-3900 for your big color catalog all about the revolutionary DR trimmer mower.
Welcome back to the Capitol Center as we get ready for overtime. In the minds of a lot of Islander fans, this game shouldn't be going to overtime. Trying to protect the lead, trying to kill off the penalty as well. But think back, if you will, when they went to the video replay to determine the Dimitri Christich goal. The clock showed the time of the goal at 7:49. They did it the right way. The officials did it absolutely the way they had to, because the puck went into the net. They figured at 7:16, they rewound the clock to 7:16. Allowed the game to proceed from 7:49. I know it's a technicality, but it's hard to say. And this is the one that we're talking about, Christich from Cavallini and Bondra. 33 seconds after the puck had gone into the net here was when we got a play stoppage, and the officials went to the video replay to determine that the puck had indeed entered the net. The clock, as I said, was stopped, showing 7 minutes and 49 seconds of playing time into the third period. They dropped that back to 7:16 to make up for the 33 seconds that they felt had been allowed to continue. That's just one of the points that'll be made, I'm sure, by somebody in the media other than us in print tomorrow.
Well, we have to do it instantly without the element of time. Steve Thomas is in the penalty box, and I believe that is just for the next 2 minutes and 9 seconds. That's the time remaining on the major penalty to Rich Pilon. So as the fans start to get revved up, referee Paul Dvorsky gets ready to drop the puck to start the overtime period.
This will be the third overtime of the 1993 Stanley Cup playoffs. The record is 16, set in 9 overtime games in 1988, the fewest in recent years. The Islanders shorthanded, and Johansson comes to center and hammers the puck in off the end boards. It bounces to the far corner for Pavanka. Pavanka trying to make the play, went through Hunter. Huey Krupp lost it back in the net. Kasparaitis swings it around the board. Johansson held it in at the point. That's Pavanka. They give him a little room. The pass to Hunter. Back to Pavanka. Christich is in front. The shot steered aside as Hunter came from back in the net. Christich sets up the point man. Hatcher. Now to Christich on the left wing board. Centered one through Krupp. Loose back in the net for Pavanka. Hunter there as well. It came to the side of the goal, and Patrick Flatley gets a stick on it. Flips it high around the boards to Mullins. Can't get it through Johansson. He's tied up on the end board, but not long enough for a face-off yet. Now the whistle sounds for the minute and 14 seconds remaining in the penalty, the major penalty against Pilon. He has been some story, not only game one, but even more so tonight. A hit from Petrolia, Ontario. Just outside Sarnia. Grew up in Wayne Merrick's hometown area, and you think of Wayne Merrick and the heroics of the Islanders. Wayne had a Stanley Cup winning goal. Of course, the most famous being Bobby Nystrom's. And in the run of 4 consecutive Stanley Cups, Michael Bossy had the other 2 Cup winning goals. This is early in the 93 playoffs, isn't it? Benoit Hogue to take the face-off. Hunter on the draw for the Caps. Pavanka to the right, Christich on the left. Caps get control of the puck, setting up Johansson at the point. Now Johansson drifted to the left, gave it back to Pavanka. He and Hunter change positions. Johansson, after accepting the pass, shoots. That was blocked in front, goes to the corner, and Hogue slams it out of the zone. It hit the linesman, came back in, and now it's being called, and linesman Ron Asseltine is hurting.
He is hurting a Jiggs. He's not an easy guy to hurt, and look at the face on Ron Asseltine. He was up against, sitting up on the boards, trying to be a non-participant in the play. Here's the shot. Watch this shot. It hit Healy, I believe, in the chest. Right there, boom, it hurt him too. He moved slowly after that puck hit him and went off to the sideboards. It was then that the Islanders tried to clear it. Thomas hit Ron Asseltine, the linesman.
We're a minute and 13 seconds into overtime. More importantly, 55 seconds now remaining in the penalty. The Islanders have dumped the puck down the ice right to Tabarachi. Hansen back for it. Hunter peels off, goes up the left wing boards, and Johansson lugs the puck out. Got Krieger up ahead. He likes to slam it in around the boards, and Healy cuts it off. In comes Hunter. Healy to Hogue. While Hogue trying to play it through Christich. Molotov got a stick on it. It comes back to Johansson off the left wing boards. In deeper for Christich. Centers. Healy the stop. Loose puck in front. Fitzgerald put it right back to Healy, who has covered it. 24 seconds left in the penalty to Pilon. He's gone for the night.
That's a good move by Tom Fitzgerald as he talks now with the goaltender, Glenn Healy. And the reason it was a good play is because the Islanders were all facing the net. They didn't know what was behind them except a wall of white shirts. There, Pavanka jammed at it. Now watch there, as the puck is edged back gently. A lot of coaches don't like that play. They don't like to see their team move the puck towards their own net. But Healy made a good stop. Then he got to get it out of there. Look at Pavanka, number 20. Tommy Fitzgerald says he's got the ice well covered. Give him the puck, let him get a hold of it, and stop the play. We can't go anywhere with it from here.
It's Hogue and Hunter on the face-off. Hunter turned on Hogue, and the Caps get it back to Hatcher. Into Dale Hunter, allowed to come out of the corner with a centering pass that went wide. Johansson plays it back in the net. Christich lets it go through to Hunter. Dale Hunter to the point. It's tipped to Hatcher. Hatcher fires one. Stick saved by Healy. The puck up in the air and recovered by the Caps. Michael Pavanka trying to put it around the end boards and reverses things, feeding Johansson. Thomas is out of the penalty box. Hunter back of the net. Lost it. Huey Krupp slams it up around the boards. To Thomas all the way down the ice. A whistle for icing as Iafrate puts a stick on the puck. We have played 2 minutes and 23 seconds of sudden death overtime, and the teams are at full and equal strength. Al Arbor deciding who he wants out there. Thomas has stayed out on the ice, but it's going to be Loisel coming out with Turgeon. Thomas will be allowed to stay. You look up and down the bench, you know the determination this team had, wanting to take the series back home, tied in a game each. 4 times they had the lead, 4 times the Caps came back.
I suppose a plus for the Islanders here, Jiggs, is that Turgeon, Thomas coming out of the penalty box, he was serving the rest of the penalty for Pilon. They're well rested now, so they're looking for a good shift. Trio.
They're out against Ridley, Miller, and Carpenter. Bobby Carpenter turns, put it in the skates of Ridley. Here's Miller, but it's cleared away, and Baskey comes up with the puck. On to Turgeon, driving on Iafrate as he crosses the line. Nice little burst of speed, a deflection that's turned aside by Tabarachi. Ridley brings the Caps to center, feeds Miller on left wing. Kelly Miller taken to the boards by Baskey, and Thomas wheels it around toward Derek King. Off his stick, however. Okay, dumps it in toward Hunter. Norton steps in front of him. Steve Thomas for the Islanders to Derek King. Now to Turgeon. Once more it's Iafrate dropping back. Turgeon looks to Thomas. There's the pass, but Cote choked him on. Steve Thomas makes the play to Turgeon. Ridley steps up. Ridley and Hunter to center. Ridley carrying the puck, gave it to Hunter on left wing. His pass is tipped. Comes outside the line. No, they roll it. Now the whistle has sounded, yes. The crowd reportedly 15,421. A lot of empty seats tonight. As you pointed out, it's been a very enthusiastic crowd at the Cap Center.
There were a lot more here earlier, but with the Capitals trailing by 1 and about 4 minutes remaining, there's the puck as it goes across the line. There, part of it touched into the neutral zone. Pierre Turgeon, his play to the front of the net. There's the deflection that Tabarachi had to make a save off of.
Caps have already had 3 shots on goal in the overtime. Islanders, and a big stop from Healy following the draw. Vladimir Molotov gave it to Green, then to Loisel on left wing. Long shot up high on Tabarachi. Came right back to Claude Loisel. Down the boards, Casper Reiters in after it. He got checked. Andres brings it into the center ice zone. Elenak is into the Islander territory. Ridden into the boards by Molotov. There is Casper Reiters, the Lithuanian defenseman, around to Loisel. Ian Green come to center. Travis Green back to Loisel. And dump it through the Washington defense. Galgarno has just come out on the player change. Puts the puck back inside the zone. And this crowd, thinking the Islanders had too many men on the ice, may be right. Oh, Cavallini, long shot is wide. Ferraro over on the left wing board. He had given the Islanders a 4-3 lead, remember. Huey Krupp puts it into the Washington zone. It's knocked down. Turn up the left side. Buried. Lost it to Krupp. Can't get it to Flatley, and Bondra is there. Peter Bondra gave it away to Norton, who stumped it in. Here's Ray Ferraro driving on the defense. Puts it in the pads, and it's covered by Tabarachi.
Good move by Ray Ferraro. He charged for the net. He used one hand to get a shot away. We get the players back to where they belong. Here's an aerial view. There's the one-handed shot by Ferraro. Then he tried to spring the puck loose. Tabarachi got a hold of it. For the Islanders charging in. There's Ray Ferraro. Good play by Ferraro. There you see Tabarachi has flatly tried to spring the puck loose. Actually tried to jam it into the net.
We are 4 minutes and 22 seconds into sudden death overtime. We played till somebody wins. As we know only too well from the last playoff series between the New York Islanders and the Washington Capitals. For those who weren't with us for Sunday night's telecast, it was the anniversary of the game that went into the 4th overtime before Pat LaFontaine won it just about 1:50 a.m. Easter Sunday morning 6 years ago. Turgeon in the middle, Thomas on the right, King on the left, Ridley on the face-off. Won by the Islanders. Derek King comes out of the corner, got through in front. Thomas with a shot. Tabaracci juggles it. He's got it at the goal line.
Very close. As the puck juggled, it bounced in the air. Tabaracci somehow, as he sunk down to the ice, that move that goaltenders do so they can get a piece of the puck. They get just another look. Derek King mishandled the puck, but he keeps it in front of him. There's Thomas turning and wheeling it. There's the puck in the air. Tabaracci grabbed a hold of it. Now it's important that he doesn't let his glove fall into the net, because if he does and the puck is in it, then it counts as a goal. Look at the Washington Capitals finish their check. It was very close. Look at the good move by the referee.
Now the live action. Hatcher moves it around the boards, and Miller able to get it on into the center ice zone. This is Pierre Turgeon with a burst of speed across the line. Fed Thomas takes one, trying to free Johansson. A glove save by Rick Tabaracci.
Good move by Steve Thomas. Good catch by Tabaracci, but Thomas got it up where it was easy for the goaltender. He was staying back, getting a longer look. Here's the very quick Steve Thomas as he pulled into better ice and then let the shot go quickly. You could see by the reaction of Tabaracci that he had it in his catching glove and was not going to let go.
Playing in only his 9th Stanley Cup playoff game tonight, Tabaracci. Steve Thomas has played 4 Stanley Cup playoff games than anybody else on the Islanders bench. Tabaracci played all 7 in the series between the Winnipeg Jets and the Vancouver Canucks a year ago. Vancouver winning in 7. Tabaracci was in the nets, gave up only 1 goal on Sunday in a 3-1 Washington win. Tonight, the Islanders have been able to get 4 by him. They patch up the ice in the Washington goal crease. Mullen, Delgarno, and Green for the Islanders, with Kasparaitis and Troop on defense. Dale Hunter's line is out for Washington. Hunter on Green with this face-off. The puck goes to the corner. Cote flips it off the boards and went through Troop, and Green has to hustle back as Pavanka moves down ice. The Islanders get it out of the zone. Delgarno on to Troop, right side to Kasparaitis. The Washington line cutting in across the line on the left side. He's given it to Delgarno on the backhand. Swung it in front. Green is well covered, but he knocks the puck away. And Mullen gets bumped around by Bondra, and the puck comes outside the line. Kasparaitis missed Bondra with the hip check. Troop closing back. There's Pavanka, and Mullen came back to break up the Washington play. Ian Mullen clears the zone, and Iafrate takes over at the Washington line across the Cote. Sylvain Cote shot one off Mullen that'll end up in the Islanders zone now. Christich going in after it. Hung up here with Huey Krupp. Now Bondra takes it out of the corner. Dropped it back behind the net. Green took the man. Krupp took the puck but didn't get it out. Cavallini shot right into the chest protector. Now the catching glove of Glenn Healy.
Islanders have to be careful in clearing the puck around the boards. They've got to be sure that the winger's there. If he's not, you're feeding it to one of the most dangerous defensive corps in the NHL. Pavanka, pretty good shift. But the Islanders moving that puck blindly around the boards is feeding it to the point positions. There's the play behind the net. Huey Krupp looked up, then he wheeled it around the boards. Back to the point. Cavallini, he wheeled it to the net quickly, and that forced Glenn Healy to stop the puck, grab it, hang on. Pavanka back there again looking for a loose puck.
Hunter and Turgeon in the face-off. Won by the Caps. Cote at the right point to the top of the circle. Flipped one. It goes out of play. Talking to both coaches prior to the opening game of the series about overtime, both primarily said the same thing. Go for it. Al Arbor a little more reserved. Go for it with calculated risks. Don't get caught. Don't take foolish chances. Terry Murray just basically saying, all out, go for it. Go as hard as you can.
I suppose that's one of the theories as we take a look at the replay a moment ago where the clock was stopped because the puck was deflected. There you see the sticks moving up into the air. Glenn Healy still doesn't know where the puck is. It's up into the seats behind him. And I suppose when you think about it, you say you go for it very quickly. Most overtimes are satisfied or settled, if you will, early. The longer it goes on. Of course, if you spend too much too quickly, it could be a long night, and you might spend a lot of it in your own end of the ice.
Well, it's been 6 minutes now. Game tied 4-4. Johansson back into the Washington zone. Off the boards, but into Turgeon. Let it go through to the corner. Islanders trying to set something up. Turgeon with a shot that came off the pads of Takarachi, and out steps Miller. Two men back to the Islanders. Miller with Carpenter trailing. Carpenter steps into a shot. Healy to save the rebound. Healy has it again, and then it's knocked away. Two big chances for the Caps. The Islanders come up 3-on-3. King is over the line. Drops it back. Norton with a shot. That's deflected wide of the net. Jeff Norton goes in after it. Tied up with Ridley, who's able to get it out of the corner. Now Carpenter moves it on. Hatcher with a feed to Iafrate. That's it into the Islanders' zone. Molotov over to knock it away from him. Molotov goes to the far corner and flips it out of the zone down into the Washington territory. That's Cote playing it off the board. Ferraro waits, trying to get the play back on side. Now dumps it in. The Islanders do regain the blue line as Iafrate goes for the punt. Hogue, Flatley, and Ferraro for the Islanders. Krieger is out for Washington. This is Hunter with a pass that hit Ellenuk at the blue line. It's Krieger, Hunter, and Ellenuk for the Caps. Iafrate back on their defense, along with Cote. Molotov jumps up here for the Islanders, but didn't get to the puck. Ferraro does. Ferraro to Hogue. It's knocked away from him. Ellenuk gets checked at the line. Once more, it's Hunter playing it down into the Islanders' zone. Molotov back for it. Up to Flatley, out into the center ice zone, but Ellenuk is there. Caps get the play onside as Molotov makes the exchange with Healy. The pass out of the zone to Flatley. Played behind Hogue. Hatcher at the Washington line. On the right side, Ellenuk bumped a little bit, and the Islanders get it to the blue line. Here's Ray Ferraro. And Hogue moving through center, put it on his stick. Three Caps get back. Hogue taken to the boards. Over goes Flatley. Continue to battle for it. Caps been much stronger in this department tonight. The battle on the boards, but now the play is called, I should say, a whistle as it was held long enough. You saw Hatcher tumble to the deck.
Cross check from behind the fans field by Benoit Hogue as he steps off the ice. Close checking. See, the play is trapped. Washington trying to get it out into the neutral ice zone. You got all three forwards there for the Islanders as Flatley steps off. There's Benoit Hogue. Ooh, pretty good shot on Kevin Hatcher from behind. Looked like he caught him in the ribs from behind, so the Islanders get away with a little one there.
I wouldn't be surprised for what Paul Dvorsky wouldn't be shy to call a penalty. It's his first Stanley Cup playoff game, tonight's referee, and he has worked an excellent game. Well, I'm sure you'll find people that will say that the penalty on Pilon maybe shouldn't have been a major, but he had to call it. The Washington player, Cote, being cut.
But the only alternative was a 2-2. Would have given them 4 minutes, and they scored with about 2 minutes and 10 seconds into the first one.
Now the Caps starting out of the zone. Hunter checked by Mullen, but moving on is Cote. He's across the line. Swung it to Hunter on right wing. Dale Hunter, who has 3 of the Caps' 4 goals. Put it back to the net, and it's Huey Krupp starting out for the Islanders. Krupp through center ice, left wing to Mullen. Mullen looks to Krupp, goes to the front of the net, but Avarachi was there to block it, and Dale Hunter, Pabanka, starts it the other way. Up it goes. Krieger into the Islanders zone. Around Green. Krieger shot it off Healy's goal pad. Pabanka drags it in front of backhander is turned aside. It jumped away from Hatcher, and Green comes down the left side. Crossing over is Cavallini. Green protecting it. Couldn't get it to Mullen. Kevin Hatcher to Krieger. Up to Pabanka. Into the Islanders zone. Pabanka to Bondra, and his shot went off Kasparaitis. Norton plays it back in the net. On to Brian Mullen. Mullen bangs one off the boards. Hatcher takes over at center ice. Kevin Hatcher, left side. This is Christich. Nice little stutter step, trying to cut in at the side of the net. Couldn't do it, and we watch Kasparaitis and Thomas out of the zone. Now to King. King over the line. Johansson delayed it just long enough to put the play offside. 9 minutes and 17 seconds into overtime.
Both teams willing to skate, willing to hit. They're both trying to end this hockey game. See the fans here. You do see some empty spots. I couldn't believe it when people got up to leave. The Islanders ahead by a goal. That was about with 5 minutes remaining in the hockey game, or just over 4. Always amuses me to think that people get to the parking lot, and with the roar, they have to know that the home team has scored to tie it, and can they get back in?
Yeah. A lot of folks with white, and of course the pom-poms that were given out tonight. Reminder to Islander fans, Thursday night when the series comes back to the Nassau Coliseum, the request is that you wear orange. Islanders trying to front of the zone. Thomas got thumped by Miller, but Derek King gets to the puck. The pass out of the zone is to Turgeon. And by Cote as he dumped it in. Thomas after it now in the right wing. Put it back to the net. Abarachi met by Derek King. Stands upset with that. Down goes Turgeon. Play allowed to continue. Malakoff at the Islander line. Checked by Carpenter, but there's Dennis Vasky. Goes up off the boards to Turgeon. Cross ice to Steve Thomas. Thomas in off right wing. Pulls the trigger, and that hit Iafrate stick ends up at the seats.
Steve Thomas, as he goes back to get a rest. He's a little upset. Tried to get the shot away. Iafrate, who is very athletic, was able to get the stick out, get it on him. Here's King a moment ago. As Tabarachi played the puck up the boards, you could see King kind of gently running into him, try to keep him, pause him, hold him, hesitate him from getting back into the net.
It's been a good one, eh? Had to do it. Midway through, sudden death, first period. Each team has had 8 shots on goal. The Islanders sending out Hogue with Ferraro and Flatley. And Washington using the Pavanka line. Pavanka with Bondra and Christich.
They've been using Dale Hunter on a lot of the face-offs in the defensive zone. Of course, as this game goes along, have to leave him on the bench for some rest at times. Hogue, very good. I think the edge has to go to Washington in the face-off department.
Pavanka wins this draw, but Flatley knocked it away from Johansson. Hatcher around the right side. This is Bondra. Pavanka and Christich coming with him. Hogue gets back to make it 3-on-3. Loose puck. Healy to stop. Another one, and it just shot wide. In comes Johansson off the left point to Pavanka, back of the net. And right out in front, but to Hogue, and Flatley moves it on to Ray Ferraro. Ferraro across the line, back to Flatley. To Ferraro, it's knocked away from him. Flatley has it here. Hatcher took him to the boards. The puck came loose. Christich trying to move it up to wing. Could not. Now Pavanka tumbles to the net. And Hogue closed across, but couldn't take it away from Christich. Dmitry Christich into the Islander zone to Peter Bondra. Bondra turning, shooting, and that's wide. It came right out in front, and Flatley is into it. Found behind the net. Norton left it for Malakoff. Up the middle to Hogue. On to Ferraro, who tips it into the Washington zone, and the Islanders complete a player change. Fitzgerald has come out on the ice along with Loisel. And Pierre Turgeon being double shifted on this line. Chasing the puck back to the Islanders is Dennis Vasky. May, Burridge, and Carpenter into the Islander zone to forecheck. Now they back out as the pass went to Fitzgerald. Turgeon up the right side, off his stick. Goes in after it. Abarachi plays it around the boards. It goes to Randy Burridge. Malakoff knocked it away. Burridge gets to it again. Up to Carpenter. Off the left side. Shoots. Healy got enough of that. Loisel steps into the left wing corner. Plays it to the line. It's held here. May works it to Carpenter. To Burridge in front. Healy the save, and he pokes the puck away from Burridge. Out comes Tom Fitzgerald, beating Turgeon at center. Into the Washington zone. Turgeon to Fitzgerald in front. Tabarachi way out of the net, and they couldn't jam it in. Loisel back in the goal. The play still going on. Here's Fitzgerald to Turgeon. Cote steps in front of him. Up the left wing goes Randy Burridge. Crisscrossing with Hunter. Burridge to Hunter. Hunter chased to the boards. Lost the puck. Pierre Turgeon and Kasparaitis are there, and it's Kasparaitis bringing it out. 7 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the first overtime period. Kasparaitis trying to center one. Got it through to Delgarno, puts it behind the net. Travis Green goes to the left wing boards to recover the puck. Centered back to the goal to Delgarno. Brad Delgarno out of the corner, looks for somebody in front. Shot it right on. Tabarachi to save, and he gets crashed into the goalpost. And now we got a full-scale scrum. The Islander defensemen stay high, not joining this. Making sure that the ensuing face-off will be deep in the Washington zone, and Tabarachi is all right.
Good play by Brad Delgarno. He took the puck, went well behind the net, came out, moved it to the front of the net. But the Washington Capitals, another area they've been more superior, they have been superior. That's in keeping Islanders and loose pucks from getting together in front of their net. Tom Fitzgerald with a chance to end it. There's the puck. Couldn't get enough of it to tip it into the open net. Excellent try. Loisel in after the puck. It was this pass by Pierre Turgeon, who has been double shifted here, and that attempt, as Tom Fitzgerald got upended, he tried to bat it into the open net, and it was inches wide.
The Caps have had 11 shots on goal in overtime. The Islanders have had 9.
This is another look at that same play. Tom Fitzgerald was the width of the puck from putting it into the open net. And as Fitzgerald, now on the bench, gets time to think about it, that's how close he came. You hear the groan from the folks here, the fans at the Capitol Center, as they watch it on the entertainment wall.
It's a game of inches, a game of skill. Thomas with King and Turgeon for the Islanders. Norton and Krupp on defense. Hatcher and Johansson, the defense combination of the Caps, will have Ridley, Miller, and Carpenter as their forward line. This is the matchup that Terry Murray has wanted and been able to get with home ice. Ridley squares with Turgeon. Here Turgeon won the draw. Norton at the left point. Centering pass was deflected, went right to Calle Johansson. Johansson down the left wing board through Thomas, but Krupp stepped up. Now Johansson gives it away, and Turgeon is over the line with Thomas and King. King off the left side, shoots, turned aside by Tabaracci. Steve Thomas trying to come out of the corner. King gets to it, turns and shoots. Tabaracci, another save. Thomas and Turgeon there together, and they can't get a shot away. Kevin Hatcher trying to clear it out. Got that solidly. Up comes Miller. Across the line, Miller to Ridley on the left side. Carpenter to the front of the net, shot it off the crossbar, and it comes back to Hatcher. Hatcher plays it in deep. Carpenter with Norton in front of him. There's Ridley with a centering pass that hit Iafrate. Now Pat Allenuck puts it in front. That shot wide by Iafrate. Norton bangs one off the boards. Iafrate held it to the line, promptly to the far corner. In goes Ridley. Carpenter in front. Here's Allenuck. A backhander is wide. Ridley out of the corner, looks to make the play, holding it, feeds it back. Cote with a shot that drifted wide, and Thomas will go to the right wing to recover. The Islanders get back in again. Allenuck to Iafrate. He is checked, and the puck squirts loose. Iafrate to the Islander line. He's got that big shot. The pass misses Allenuck. Steve Thomas moves it up ahead, and Hogue chases it down the right wing boards. Benoit Hogue shovels it back to the net. Ferraro gets taken out of the play by Hunter. Ferraro trips Hunter in turn, and now Iafrate skies it down into the Islanders' zone. Not far enough for icing as Vasky is back.
Hunter took a dive trying to draw a penalty on Ray Ferraro, but the referee, Paul Dvorsky, was having none of that.
Now Hunter sets up outside the Islanders' zone with a pass to Krieger. Back on it is Patrick Flatley. Played nearly 15 minutes of sudden death overtime. Ferraro dumps the puck in on behalf of the Islanders. Tabaracci out of the net. Gave it to Hatcher. Around to Christich. To the line for Bondra. On to Pavanka. Pavanka driving on Molotov. Plays it around the big Islander defenseman. Vladimir Molotov now to Flatley. Up the middle, but not to Hogue. Cavallini stepped in. Paul Cavallini can't get it to Pavanka, and the Islanders are out of the zone. Dennis Vasky putting it inside the Washington territory. This is Cavallini coming down the left side. Christich got checked. Michael Pavanka and Green go to the boards. Christich handling the puck with a long pass to Bondra on right wing. Bondra in front to Pavanka. Vasky took care of him, didn't he?
A good check by Dennis Vasky. Played the body perfectly.
Now Anderson pitches in from the blue line. Kasparaitis put it in the corner. Sean Anderson having trouble getting control of it. Back up on his skates after being checked. A backhander. Healy, one more stop. Pavanka steps out of the corner. Centers it off the side of the net. There's Kasparaitis to Green. He can't get it out of the zone. It's kicked out by Delgarno now. Sean Anderson is checked at center, and Green dumps it in for the Islanders.
Washington with the better scoring chances seem to be slowly taking over some more of the territory, but the Islanders intercept the puck in center ice.
Turgeon with Loisel and Fitzgerald up front. This is Tommy Fitzgerald taking the turn. Comes to the right wing boards and shoots it in. Tabaracci leaves it back of the net. Loisel pushed Cote away from the puck, but Anderson was there. Fitzgerald into his face. Loisel gets a stick on it. Anderson controls and plays it across to Carpenter. Down the right side, working on Norton. into the zone. The pass didn't materialize. Carpenter puts it back in the Islander zone offside. Clock is stopped with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the first sudden death overtime period.
Ruling pace in this hockey game. Bobby Carpenter has had 2 outstanding scoring opportunities, and Glenn Healy has been spectacular as he's been through 2+ games now as we wind down in the first overtime period. But the pace has been tremendous. I see players now, a moment ago, Pierre Turgeon, who has been double shifted twice in this overtime. He had to go to the bench with the Washington Capitals going into the Islanders' end of the ice. Known as a no-no, and in overtime an absolute no-no, but he knew he had no choice. He had nothing left. He was spent. He was out of gas. He needed at least a minute, half a minute, anything on the bench to regroup, to get his strength back, and in doing so, Washington got a scoring opportunity.
The Islanders are going home right after this game, no matter what happens. The Caps will practice here tomorrow, travel to Long Island tomorrow afternoon. 4-4 score as Benoit Hogue plays the puck up to Flatley. Kasparaitis takes the pass, trying to split the defense. Gets hauled off his skates by Hunter, and there'll be a penalty. Dale Hunter is going to be penalized.
I don't suppose we could get a penalty shot out of it. Wouldn't that be something in overtime hockey in the playoffs? But Darius Kasparaitis broke up the middle of the ice. He was fed the puck. He was in a straight line for the net. Kasparaitis, number 11, there he goes. Dale Hunter, who else? Who covers more ice? Hunter reaches out, grabs a hold of him. Darius Kasparaitis trying to make a play with Al Iafrate bearing down on him. Didn't get the shot away, but a penalty to Dale Hunter there as he reaches out, grabs Kasparaitis. Kasparaitis goes down.
34.
Dale Hunter will go off.
Time of the penalty, 16:34 of overtime. Well, an area that the Islanders haven't had any success in this series with is the power play. This was their 5th opportunity of this game. They had 5 in the opening game of the series. And Al Arbour has asked for his 32nd timeout. Rick Tabaracci goes all the way back to the Washington bench for some refreshment. You see the instructions here from Al Arbour. Lorne Henning, one of the 2 assistants with him. The other assistant coach, Rick Green, played 6 seasons for the Washington Capitals before that historic trade between Washington and Montreal at the beginning of David Poyle's tenure as general manager here. Our congratulations to the son of Toronto Maple Leaf president and general manager Cliff Fletcher. His son, Chuck Charles, if you will, has become the assistant to the general manager of the Florida Panthers. Well done, Charles.
13-10, the shots on goal here in the overtime. A lot of shots on goal as Rick Tabaracci, and that's in favor of the Washington Capitals. As Tabaracci gets ready, timeout that the Islanders had called. So with 3 minutes and 26 seconds remaining, the Islanders get a power play opportunity. Be a great time for them to finally get a power play goal in this playoff series. They were blanked in the first game, blanked through 3 periods of this hockey game.
Islanders have had 50 shots on goal so far. This is Norton, left side to Turgeon, to Thomas. He just missed the net. King sets up back to the goal, around to Thomas. Steve Thomas looks to Molotov, can't get it to him. The Islanders will have to chase it. Ridley is up screaming at referee Dvorsky about the way he'd been knocked down. They watch Molotov come across the line, trying to go around Hatcher. The 2 of the men up in the corner, and the puck will come back toward Norton. Norton shoveled it in a little deeper. Thomas gets bumped by Kevin Hatcher. Norton holds it at the line. Fires one up high on Tabaracci. Johansson slams it around the boards. Molotov kept it in. Giving it to Turgeon. Thomas backs in behind the net. King being bothered in front. Thomas couldn't wrap it in as Turgeon found him. Now it comes through and all the way back to Molotov at the right point. Over to Norton. Into Thomas. Thomas backs up a little. Ridley on him, but without a stick. And Molotov couldn't hold the pass at the blue line. 57 seconds in this power play as King comes over the blue line. Held on to the puck. Got away from Miller, plays it into Thomas. Back in the net intended for Turgeon. Johansson on him. Now Hatcher picks him up. Turgeon feeds the left point. This is Molotov with a drive, gloved and held by Rick Tabaracci.
Again, great penalty killing by the Washington Capitals. They're keeping the puck on the outside. The Islanders get one easy shot that Tabaracci just picked off with the catching glove, making it look easy. Mistakes are made when you get tired. Players don't have the jump. A lot easier to kill the penalty when you're tired than it is to get a goal in a power play. And the Islanders, as I pointed out, 0 for 5 in game 1, 0 for 4 through the first 3 periods of this hockey game, and not looking any closer.
42 seconds remaining in Hunter's hooking penalty. They've had 2 shots on goal with this power play. Al Arbor has sent Hogue, Turgeon, and Flatley out with Troop on the left point and now Norton on the right. It is tense. Overtime hockey.
What the Islanders haven't been able to do, Jig, is get the puck at the point position and have 2 or 3 guys standing around, at least 2 in front of the net looking for a rebound. That shot that came in a moment ago, there wasn't an Islander within 10 feet of the front of the net.
Turgeon won the draw. Troop fires from the point. That skips off the stick. Way up into the seats. Now 37 seconds in Hunter's hooking penalty.
I think back to the first power play that the Islanders had in this hockey game. That was in the first period. Cavallini took a penalty at 7:20, and the Islanders never looked better on the power play. They had 3 outstanding scoring opportunities that Tabaracci took away. Here, Turgeon, who has been excellent in the face-off department, wins another one. Norton, and just too much time. Huey Kloop. Too much of a wind-up. There's the shot, but where are the Islanders? If that puck gets through and Tabaracci can't control the rebound, there's only white sweaters there. Washington Capitals to clear it away.
Well, now the Islanders and the blue sweaters will have to set up deep in their own zone with just under 30 seconds to go in the power play. Norton gets them into center with 24 seconds to Troop. Off right wing, Tabaracci to save, and I'm afraid he can't get it out. This is Turgeon, unable to move it to Flatley in time. Bobby Carpenter gets checked in his own zone. Flatley to Hogue in the corner. Turgeon battling there as well. And the cap, Bobby Carpenter, has played it into the penalty bench.
6 seconds remaining in the power play. The Islanders, if they can win the face-off, will get possibly one more opportunity with the man advantage. 52 shots for the Islanders. They've got 3 shots on goal in this power play, but none of them effective.
Now Hogue, Ferraro, and Flatley with Molotov and Baskey will be the setup for the Islanders. Cavallini is going back to the Washington bench. Iafredi and Cote will be the defense pairing, with Miller and Ridley as the forward.
Referee has been giving both coaches a little bit of liberty in changing, giving the players a little longer to make the changes, which isn't the worst thing under the circumstances. Suppose these particular ones, it's in the best interest of the Islanders. They get the power play unit with an extra breath, but Baskey is out with Molotov. Ferraro trying to win the faceoff.
He is against Ridley on this draw. The puck popped loose into the skates of Flatley. Centered. Hogue couldn't jam it in. Cote swings it around the boards. Molotov at the left point. Went to center one. Teams are at full strength again. Hunter tips Miller's pass deep into the Islanders zone. Baskey back on it here. Hunter chasing him back of the net. Patrick Flatley shovels it behind the goal. Away from Molotov. A stuff-in attempt. Oh, and a stop by Healy. A jam up. The referee in great position. No signal.
I don't believe that Glenn Healy was able to keep the puck out of the net.
And you just saw Vladimir Molotov take exception to Elenuck's presence. Pushing number 19 away from the front of the net solidly.
Almost get the feeling that the whistle hadn't blown the way the Islanders reacted to Elenuck, and they just jammed him over backwards. Molotov in pursuit of the puck couldn't get a hold of it. From the side of the net, the pass to Hunter. Look at the stop by Healy. I don't believe. And then when Hunter does what he does best, tried to jam it in, they didn't get it in. Beautiful play, the original play by Krieger from the side of the net. There's Krieger as he passed it. There's the shot. What a stop by Healy. He reached out, got a hold of it, but under the force the full force of Hunter. Healy was able to hang on the puck. Let's take another look from a reverse angle. Glenn Healy with the save of the hockey game right here.
Fans are yelling that the puck was in the net. What they're seeing on the video replay board here is what you've seen at home, and that is the black tape portion of the stick in the back of the net.
Yeah, they're getting all excited because you'll remember back in this hockey game, 30 seconds after a puck did enter the net, it was given to the Washington Capitals. Ron Asseltine has gone off the ice, Jiggs. He threw his whistle, or he threw something and stormed off the ice. Here's the shot by Hunter. Watch Healy as he stretches out. He got his stick on it. Now he's got his glove on it, and that should be the end of the play, but Hunter is allowed to go to the net and jam. And how Healy, look at the referee, what a job. He's in the right position. He doesn't see the puck, so there's no goal. He's done an excellent job in this hockey game. Paul Dvorsky, as well as the linesman. Here comes Ron Asseltine coming back out. I guess he broke his whistle, trying to make sure that the players heard it. They were blowing it.
And to the credit of Paul Dvorsky, like several of the senior referees, Andy Van Hellemond in particular, the time was right to go and talk to Terry Murray. Explain exactly why the goal, or why what these Caps fans thought was an overtime goal wasn't.
Fans are waiting for them to go to the replay. They want a repeat of the replay that got them a goal back in the third period when Christich on a backhand.
Hunter on the draw for the Caps, but the Islanders have the puck, and Darius Kasparaitis has cleared it out. Less than a minute to go in the first sudden death overtime, and the puck out of play of the New York Islanders bench. Wouldn't you know that these two teams couldn't get it over with early?
They've both been trying some great stops at both ends of the ice. A hockey game that has had 4 periods of everything you could ask for.
And the scene shifts to the Nassau Coliseum Thursday night. Come out wearing your very best orange duds. Overalls, whatever, doesn't matter. As long as it's orange, be there and cheer them on. The Islanders and the Caps Thursday and again Saturday night. Games 3 and 4 of this best-of-7 series on Long Island. Kasparaitis dumps the puck in, but it hit Hatcher. Kevin Hatcher turns away from Brad Delgarno, is picked up here by Mullen. Hatcher into the center ice zone, partially checked, but still able to dump the puck in. Kasparaitis and a big hit. Oh man, did he take Krieger into the board? He just pulled up long enough and then really hammered Krieger. And again a scuffle.
Both of the Washington Capital defensemen, Kevin Hatcher and Calle Johansson, stay away from the shoving. Krieger went heavily into the boards. It looked as though he and Kasparaitis were going to go shoulder to shoulder. Now it looks like Dale Hunter with some words. It'd be interesting to hear what Darius Kasparaitis. Here's the shoulder to shoulder. Boom. Krieger loses his balance, falls heavily into the boards. He got his arms up in time to protect himself. It was the shot that Kasparaitis gave him as he came off the boards, recoiling, that the fans got upset about.
Kasparaitis was trying to put Krieger's face on the picture of the Washington Post ad in the end boards there. Boy, the Islanders had a lot of laughs about a picture in the New York Daily News today identifying Ray Ferraro as Huey Croup. Huey said, here I am, the biggest guy on the team, and the little guy, Pee-wee, that's my name. They might be thinking about calling one another's attorneys about that. Green flips the puck off the stick into the zone, taken to the boards by Dmitry Christich, and Hatcher will clear it high in the air. Back goes Vladimir Molotov. Down to the final 19 seconds of overtime. Vondra and Vasky were having a little tug of war.
Two-line offside pass as Travis Green tried to get loose up through the center of the ice. The fans are reacting to Vondra getting tied up with Vasky, tugging at each other with hockey sticks.
Face off above the circles in the Islander end of the ice. There's the time remaining in the first sudden death overtime. The The reason we're in overtime is a goal by Dale Hunter on a power play at 19:57 of the third period. Travis Green and Michael Pavanka facing off here. Green gets the stick down and wins the draw from Pavanka. Baskey checked on the end boards, but Malakoff is there, and it goes around to Hogue. Up to Travis Green, and the Islanders will get it out of there. Not a whole lot of time as it ends up inside the Washington zone, and the overtime, first 20 minutes has been written into the book.
An exciting overtime period. End-to-end hockey. Some of the players milling around. Travis Green with a few things to say to a couple of the Washington Capitals as he skates off the ice to the Islander dressing room. Take a look at the Islanders as they head for a well-deserved and needed rest here between the first overtime as they get ready for the second one. To think as you see the teams walk off. The Islanders, one of the youngest teams in the league, and that may play to their favor the longer the overtime goes. But clearly, Washington, the Capitals, had the better scoring opportunities in the overtime period.
14-14 will be the shots on goal, and we'll be back to the Capitol Center in Landover right after these messages.
I ran into David Perry over the weekend. I haven't thought about him since he retired. He sure ain't living like he used to. Is that what we have to look forward to? Actually, when I started with the company, I talked to my broker at Payne Weber. He felt that our retirement plan wouldn't be enough, so we decided I should be putting some money aside. How do you even know about our plan? He asked.
The U.S. Postal Service will pick up 1 or 100 or 1,000 priority mail and express mail packages for just $4.50. That's per pickup, not per package. And we'll even pick up heavy ones. You'll get express mail next day and 2-day priority mail delivery at some of the lowest prices around. So call for a pickup. It's like getting a moving van for $4.50.
We deliver for you.
Raindrops are falling on my head, they keep falling. There's one thing I know.
The unique channeling system of General's new Hydro 2000 tire gives you better traction on wet roads.
'Cause I'm free.
So you can take a nice family trip, even on a rainy day. From our family to yours.
Come see the newest and the most celebrated champions of all time in the Campbell Soup's 1993 tour of World Figure Skating Champions. Babylonian Gardner, Victor Petrenko, the Dujanets, Nancy Kerrigan, Mish Kutanak and Dimitriев, Brian Boitano, Torval and Dean, Jill Trenery, Klimova and Ponomarenko, Scott Davis, and many more, as Tom Collins presents the greatest figure skaters in the world.
Appearing at Nassau Coliseum Sunday, May 2nd at 1 p.m. Tickets available at the Nassau Coliseum box office and all Ticketmaster locations.
Let me give you the final score, 5-4. But we're still going to stay here and determine who gets the fifth one, aren't we? 4-4 through 4 periods of hockey. And for Mobile, let's go back and summarize this game. The Islanders come out of the first period with a 1-0 lead on Pierre Turgeon's goal. King and Thomas assisted at 13-14. Into the second period, and Dale Hunter gets an unassisted goal when the puck came off the pipe and off the skates of Glenn Healy. Hunter's third in the series, tying it at 6:33. And then Pierre Turgeon regains the lead for the Islanders. His second from Thomas and Baskey at 12:36. That lead stood until 15:51. Dale Hunter on a power play from Johansson and Carpenter, and the second period ended with the score 2-2. Into the third, and for the third time, the Islanders take the lead. This goal by Benoit Hogue was unassisted at 3:31. Hogue's first in this series. Dmitry Christich came back to tie it at 7:49 on the clock. It was rewound to 7-16 when the goal was allowed after a video replay. Christich from Cavallini and Bondra, so they picked it up at the 7-16 mark of the third period. Ferraro scores from Flatley and Hogue at 14:50. Ferraro second in the series, Flatley and Hogue assisting, and the Islanders' lead was 4-3 into the late stages. But at 17:10 of the period, Rich Pilon took a major penalty for high sticking, tossed from the game, and Hunter scores at 19:57.4 officially on the clock. Hunter completing the hat trick, Johansson and Christich assisting, and that's the reason we've gone to overtime. Here are the shot totals for Mobile. The Islanders outshooting the Caps 14-6 in the first period, 17-9 in the second, and as you see, 11-8 were the shots favor of Washington in the third, and each team had 14 shots on goal in the overtime. 40 for the Capitals, 53 for the Islanders. And we have played exactly one full period of sudden death overtime. On our first going to the overtime, you saw some great overtime goals, and now let's meet the man who gave the Islanders their first Stanley Cup in overtime. Bobby Nystrom joins Ed Westfall.
Thank you, Jiggs. Only Maurice Richard has more overtime goals than Bob Nystrom, but there's a player playing in this hockey game that has 4 overtime goals as well as you. Dale Hunter, we thought he had his 5th.
I sure did, Eddie. I don't know how Glenn Healy could have possibly kept that puck out. The only thing that I could think of was that he had his stick wedged onto the post, and that really gave him the extra strength. But you talk about a guy that goes to the net, that Hunter is unbelievable.
Well, the original shot by Hunter was some stop by Healy because he seemed to be out of position on an earlier play, and then he dove across and did get his gloves in front of it. But both teams had some great scoring chances in the overtime.
They certainly did. The one that I could think of the most was the fact that Thomas got that pass across. All he had to do was just tee that one up. And you know Stevie can shoot the puck as good as anybody, especially on that cross-ice pass. And hey, listen, there's a lot of nerves going on out there. The puck just sort of trickled underneath the heel of his stick, and it was gone into the corner. But great hockey game. What a difference from the first game in the respect that they just turned up the tempo more and more and more.
Well, we talked about the fact that the Islanders were going to have to play at least 60 minutes. We didn't realize that they were going to have to play an extra 15 minutes or 20 minutes and go to another one. But that was one of the problems they ran into in game one, was that they didn't play the full 60 minutes.
Absolutely right, Eddie. I think that, we had talked about it. They played well in the first period and probably halfway through the second period, and then they just seemed like they were going to try to win it with a 1-goal lead. And against Washington, with the type of firepower they have, there was just no way. Ultimately, there was a lot of scrums, and then finally Hunter just came out, and a couple of guys just were able to battle the puck in. But in general, I think that these two teams are so evenly matched, and it's going to lend itself to an exciting series.
Well, we could go back 6 years when Pat LaFontaine scored in 4 overtimes here. You were the assistant coach behind the bench. What is the philosophy of a coaching staff when it comes to overtime? Is it to play the game and to wait for an opportunity, or is it to go out and create one?
Well, I think that it's probably go out and create one. Be aggressive in that respect. The only problem against Washington is that you figure you're safe with that third man high, but they've got those defensemen that move into the play so much so that even if they've got 3 men back, they always have 4 men attacking. So it makes it pretty tough, and the Islanders have to be very careful. But in general, we were pushing the players to try to get that goal. You never want to play a defensive style game in overtime, because you're just not going to be able to come back if they score one.
I suppose at this point in a hockey game, Bob, I had mentioned just before the end of the first overtime that if as this goes on and the longer it goes, it would seem to favor the Islanders because they are a much younger hockey club.
I would say that it does, and especially on the defensive side, although the loss of Rich Pilon certainly hurts, but Al is using a lot of guys, Tommy Fitzgerald on the lineup, Loisel, guys like that, and I think that Terry is using just a little less players, and it could pay off for the Islanders in the long run.
You mentioned Tommy Fitzgerald, and he was one of the guys that with an open net and being tripped up, you had to understand he was in the air, but he had a great chance to end it.
He sure did. If he wouldn't have been airborne by the time he got to the puck, he might have possibly been able to squeak that back. But a good effort, and I really, it's such a great thrill to see the players dig down so deep. They get knocked down, they're up in a second, and when it comes to overtime, there's just no mistakes to be made out there. So these players are giving it their all.
Well, you having scored 4 overtime goals, what are some of the things that you think of, and when you were a player, when you're sitting in the dressing room right now, and the first overtime is over, what kind of things went through your mind?
Well, you know, more than anything else, I always thought real positively. I always felt that I was going to be the guy that scored, and I had that inner feeling. And, you know, I always felt that I worked extra hard on my conditioning, and I felt that it paid off in those overtimes. And I just felt good. And I think the general attitude of the New York Islanders, whether it's passed down or whatever, we've had such a good record in overtime, and I believe that that sort of continues on.
Well, I'm sure if Al Arbor knew you were standing here, he'd love to have you walking around in the dressing room right now, but I know you have to get back to your radio work, and we've got to get back to Jiggs McDonald. Thanks for the visit. Good to see you, Robert.
Thanks, 18. Anytime.
Bob Nystrom, our guest here at the end of the first overtime. Let's go back and rejoin Jiggs McDonald. Jiggs?
Yes, just to recite those numbers that Bobby touched on, this will be the 33rd overtime Stanley Cup playoff game for the New York Islanders, and their lifetime record, 25 wins and 7 losses. What'll it be after 33? There's more to come from Landover right after these words.
If you've ever struggled with a handheld trimmer, you'll love this revolutionary new kind of trimmer on wheels. Just look how easy it rolls on those 2 big wheels and glides in any direction on this front-mounted mobile. It's perfect for trimming around rocks, along fences, buildings, sidewalks, and in all those hard-to-reach corners. The new DR is also a mower. It cuts tall grass, waist-high weeds, even wet grass and rough areas with never-before ease. There's no steel blade to bend or dull. You'll just love what the DR trimmer mower can do for you and your property. A big color catalog is just $2. Call toll-free 1-800-654-3900. That's 1-800-654-3900 for your big color catalog all about the revolutionary DR trimmer mower.
New York Islanders hockey is brought to you in part by your local Volvo dealers, who remind you to please drive safely, and by the card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
The Complete Car Cost Guide studied over 500 cars to determine which offered the best overall values. Which did they choose? The Volvo 240 wagon, the Volvo 940 turbo sedan, the Volvo 940 turbo wagon, and now Volvo has made them even better values. The Volvo Best Value Program, now until May 2nd. Call us for a dealer nearest you.
We're back. It's 4 periods long, this hockey game, and it's still tied 4-4 right now. Mobile's going to show us the highlights, all kinds of them. Scoring chances galore. The Islanders never argued a point in the overtime. Very early in the overtime, we're going to show you something that we talked about. There's an imaginary plane line that goes up from the goal line to the crossbar. Here, Derek King gets hammered. He gets the puck to Thomas. Watch the catching glove of the goaltender. We slow it down here. The puck is in the air. It bounced up in the air, and as Tabaracci falls to the ice, watch his glove. There. He catches the puck. Isn't that in the net if the puck is in the glove? That was in overtime, but nobody seemed to argue it like the Washington Capitals did. The play was stopped. No goal. I suppose on the other side, that was only our camera work, not the review. If he had a chance to review it, he wouldn't see the angle that you just saw. But Tommy Fitzgerald, as we talked to Bob Nystrom, had an excellent opportunity. A little dump pass from Pierre Turgeon. And here with the puck there and the open net, Tommy Fitzgerald shot it, but he shot it just outside the goal post. Another good scoring chance in the overtime. And then Kelly Miller. On the left side, Bobby Carpenter along with Ridley. Ridley, a beautiful feed to Carpenter, and then he released it. Look at the save by Glenn Healy. Got his shoulder up just in time as Carpenter went hunting for the top right-hand corner. And just speaking of Hunter, who has hunted well all this game and has bagged 3 so far, watch this play. No one can believe that Glenn Healy made the save there and was able to keep the puck from getting pushed across the goal line by Dale Hunter. We'll take another look at the play. Molokov behind the net. Krieger grabbed it and then fed it across. Hunter coming in. He got in behind Dennis Vasky, got the shot away. But what a stop by Healy. And then as Hunter jammed for the net, Everybody thinks that those sticks in there are the puck, but they're not. Healy has the puck and kept the game from going to the Washington Capitals. We'll be back for the start of the second overtime in just a moment. A wonderful game between the Capitals and the Islanders on Sports Channel.
Did you know that stress and certain vitamin deficiencies can cause hair loss and that researchers are growing hair in a test tube? When you call Hair Club for Men, we'll send you this information along with Hair Club's own advances in dealing with hair loss.
I wanted something that looked very natural and also looked very natural when I was skiing and when my hair was very wet.
It made me feel old to be going thin at 24.
Hair Club's innovative techniques in dealing with hair loss will give you the confidence you've always wanted.
I did not ask to lose my hair. And for a long period of time, I thought that I would have no choice. And with Hair Club, I do have that choice.
No matter what sport or activity, your new hair will look and feel like your own.
Now that I have a full head of hair, people that haven't seen me in a while, they don't even know I had anything done. It's like totally natural to them.
So call Hair Club for Men and receive our free brochure, along with some tips that may help you keep the hair you have.
I'm not only the Hair Club president, but I'm also a client.
Is 5-4. We're here to determine who gets the fifth one. And a minor change, shots on goal in the overtime. Once they recounted, they found that the Islanders had only 13 and the Capitals 14. Well, I'll tell you, that replay that you showed of the glove save of Tabaracci in the imaginary line, as you call it, yeah, the plane had been broken, hadn't it?
The problem you have with that, Jiggs, is that is our camera. We have our own camera, and that one, the replay judge does not have access to. And so, without that camera, we wouldn't have seen it either. But you could clearly see that as the puck come down and landed in the glove of Tabaracci, it had broken that plane that runs up from the goal line to the crossbar, and the puck in his glove was in the net.
It appeared from the angle, too, that referee Dvorsky, coming around the back of the net, may have had a shot at that, but did not. There are your totals. Shots on goal, as reported, one taken away from the Islanders. Matters not. It's 52-40 in that department. The game is 4-4.
Problem you have, you know, as a referee, you can't be everywhere. And with him moving to the back of the net to be able to peer through the net, yes, he takes the view of the goal judge away, but it's more important that he sees what's going on than the goal judge under those circumstances.
Now the second sudden death overtime gets underway. Kevin Hatcher giving the puck to Johansson. The Islanders started Thomas, Turgeon, and King with Fasky and Molotov on defense. As Fasky playing it around from behind the net. Hatcher covering the right point, gets a stick on it. Shot went off Fasky's skates. That is Fasky reaching in for it. Nudged it away from Miller. Carpenter backing him up at center. Didn't get it into the zone, and Derek King dumps it down to the Washington line, where Carpenter knocked it out of the air with a high stick. The play has been called back, and they'll face it off at the Washington zone.
Interesting. Bob Carpenter, who talked to us at the end of the first period, not bashful about saying how poorly things got started here as he came back to play for the Washington Capitals, the team that he started out with as a rookie and set several records at the time. That things weren't going well. And then they put him on a checking line, and he may have elongated his career here with the Washington Capitals because of it.
And very well may have. We'll see what the expansion draft and protection list brings about. Who goes where when the two new teams at Anaheim and Florida get their players late in June. Right now, we've got to decide the winner of this. Huey Krupp, who's out on defense with Kasparaitis, holds the puck back of the net. Turgeon comes to the left, Kasparaitis to the right. Kasparaitis took the pass from Krupp, sneaks down the boards, across the Washington line, pulled up by Iafrate, centered, couldn't get it to Thomas. Tabaracci's clearing effort, finds the puck moving out towards center ice. Huey Krupp back to Derek King, colliding with Turgeon. Here's a break for Carpenter. Krupp steps over in front of him. Carpenter shot, big rebound off Healy's pads, and Norton clears the zone. It's through Cote, rather. And the Caps will go back as the Islanders change up. Caps are going to do the same. Cote, Iafrate. Prater to the Islander line where it was poke checked away by Flatley, only to have Christich shoot it in. Norton will take it back to the net. Norton getting away from Bondra. Up the boards it goes to Flatley. Looks to Hogue, dumps it in. Cote knocks it down. Hogue jabbing at it. It goes to Bondra. And the Caps are safely out into the center ice area. Into the Islander zone. Cavallini looks to Pavanka. Cavallini gets decked by Vasny. And the puck, meantime, is loose behind the Islanders' net. Patrick Flatley stepped away from Michael Pavanka. Flatley with Hogue moving through the center ice area. Flatley carrying the puck. Hogue drives to the front of the net. Flatley centering pass through everybody and right to Christich. Dimitri Christich flips it up ahead. Bondra is offside.
Fans are screaming for a penalty. Bondra trying to fight away from Molokov. One of those laid out passes, but he was offside by a couple of feet. Very speedy Peter Bondra. He goes to the net very well, and you can see there that he and Molokov got tied up.
This game now becomes the second longest in Islander history. 128 minutes and 46 seconds is what it took on that wonderful night. Easter Eve and on into Easter Sunday back in '87. This game gone to 81 minutes and 23 seconds, as you see, surpassing the overtime game of 1980 against Buffalo and that 1990 overtime game against the New York Rangers. One in which Kenny Morrow scored that goal. No, I'm sorry, that was not the Morrow goal, was it? Long shot here by Hatcher. Hatcher moving in after the puck. Molokov took him to the boards, knocked the stick out of Hatcher's hands. It comes right through in front. Healy went one way, the puck the other. Big break for the Islanders. Ryan Mullen moves it around the end boards for Kasparaitis. Elenuck pulls up in front of Healy. Kasparaitis checking his options. He likes to give it to Molokov. Vladimir Molokov to Brian Mullen. Mullen spotting Green, can't get it to him at the blue line, and here's Cavallini for the Caps. Up off the boards, but too far for Hunter. It goes wide of the net. Icing call is made against Washington.
Both teams trying to spring somebody loose, trying to get a breakaway. That can be costly. That can backfire on you if it's intercepted. You could see Bondra, remember when he was checked by Molokov that time, the Islanders trying to find somebody open up the middle of the ice. Unsuccessful. There's Dale Hunter as he put the puck in the front of the net. Look at the stop here. Healy moving in front was Todd Krieger. He got the backhand shot away. Healy had to stay back into his net, making the stop off a backhand shot by Todd Krieger.
And that note we just showed you on the overtime game of April 9th, 1990, it was Brent Sutter who scored just before the 1 minute mark of the second overtime period. Here we await the winner of this game as Turgeon centers for King and Thomas. Roop and Norton on defense. For Washington, Carpenter, as you might expect, with Ridley and Miller out against this high-paced Islander forward line. King with a pass that's tipped by Turgeon. Cabaracci started out of the net. Johansson gave it away. Turgeon couldn't control it. King does, and lost it on the end board. Steve Thomas battling for it. King is there as well. It comes all the way back to Krupp. In around behind the net for Turgeon. Centers it out in front. Thomas tips it to the point. This is Krupp to Norton. Closes in. Shoots one. Cabaracci the save. And Hatcher is able to play it up off the glass and out of the zone.
Again, I point out the fact that the Washington Capitals do not leave loose pucks around for Islanders to get a hold of.
Caps went for a player change here, and the Islanders are trying to do the same after having dumped it in. And the Caps quickly come around to the right side. Cote's pass was tipped. He got it right back again. Gave it to Iafrate, who's over the line. Now Bondra off the right side. Centered one that hit Iafrate. Christich for the shot. Healy got the blocker on that. Here Turgeon backhands it into the center ice zone. Hogue moves up. Now Iafrate was there to clear it, and now Ray Ferraro dumps it right back in, and the Islanders get onside. We played just over 4 minutes of the second overtime period. Iafrate to Cote. Missed Bondra with the pass, and there's Vasky. Ivanka and Bondra moved in. Vasky moved it to Hogue. Now to Ferraro. He's got a goal in this game. The pass to Flatley. Plays it in around the end boards. Cabaracci played it right back to Ferraro, and look at the way to get to him. Now Johansson trying to move it out. Ferraro to Hogue. He gets checked. Christich had it jabbed away by Molokov, and Cabaracci very alertly stopped that. From back of the net, Ferraro's wraparound won't go. The Cats get it to the line. Vasky holds it in with a shot that's blocked. The Papanka starting out of the zone. Into center where Vasky was waiting for it. Got it back in. Both teams in the middle of some changes. The Caps move it outside the line. Hogue flips it back in. Ferraro gets the play onside again. The Islanders continue to complete their player changes as Fitzgerald moved into forecheck. Loose puck in front of the Islander players' bench. Turgeon gave it to Krug. Backs in with Ellenuk coming in on him. The pass off Fitzgerald. No, he did not touch it. They ruled. We'll get a nicing call. All the way back into the Islander zone for a face-off.
Hard to believe, but the pace is still there. The team's putting all out. Both teams very disciplined at changing on the fly. Here's the Islanders forechecking of Ray Ferraro. Watch him come out this side of the net as he tries a wraparound. Tabaracci kicked it away, and again the Washington Capitals able to control the loose pucks around the front of the net. That was the dish off to Cavallini. There, Ferraro grabbed it, stole it from him, and then here, with an opportunity for a wraparound, Ferraro got tripped up behind. He couldn't get his body farther enough out to get his arms out there. Again, you look at that same play, and just as he started out, you see his left leg got pulled up by Cavallini. That prevented him from getting to the front of the net.
Night time for some. An exciting moment for the rest. Crowd earlier tonight was 15,421. You watch Claude Loisel dump the puck in off the end boards. Fitzgerald after it. Got checked. This is Todd Krieger. Turgeon had started in, got pulled back by Hatcher. Krieger to Ellenuk. Now it goes to Hunter at center ice. Dale Hunter behind the back feed. Ellenuk chases it into the zone. Krupp is there to pick him up. Ellenuk bumps solidly. Loose puck behind the net. In and out of the skates of Krupp. It goes to Fitzgerald. He's tapped it outside the line. Turgeon races after it. Nudged it on into the Washington zone, but Hatcher gets back. Gave it away to Fitzgerald. Tommy Fitzgerald can't get it back to Kasparaitis. Big hit delivered by Kasparaitis after Fitzgerald had been knocked down. Malakoff takes it all the way back into the Islander zone to reset the play. Up he comes. Vladimir Malakoff to Brian Mullen. Down the boards it goes. Tabaracci puts it in the open corner. Mullen comes racing in after. Shot right on. Delgado just shot one wide after taking it from Tabaracci, and out comes the Washington Caps. That's Randy Burridge. Vasky took him off his skates. A backhander from the side of the net. Blocked as May got it on target. This is Mullen. Brian Mullen, the only acquisition that the Islanders made in last offseason, has slapped it around the boards. There's Brad Delgarno. He got bumped by Alan May. Iafrate moves it on to Cote. Cote looks up ice. The pass is to Burridge. Up ahead is Jones as Burridge slams it in around the boards. Jones and Delgarno after it. It spins loose, and Travis Green gets it out of the Islanders' end. Cavallini trying to shoot it right back in, put it out of play.
So important for both teams that their fourth line, third and fourth lines perform well, because now the coaches have to use them regularly. They've got to give the Pierre Turgeons, the Thomases, the Kings a little extra rest as this game goes a little longer, so the confidence in the young players has to be there. Take a look. Brad Delgarno tried to get the puck to Travis Green. Here, there's the play. Delgarno across. Green just got too close, and he was checked by Hatcher as he tried to jam the puck into the net.
See where the face-off is in the center ice zone. Ridley and Turgeon on the draw, and the Caps come away with it. Hatcher on the right wing. Slaps it right on. Healy out to handle it after making the stop. Norton with it back in the net. Norton and Kasparaitis on defense. Turgeon centering for Thomas and King. Kasparaitis tipped the puck. Ridley plays it around behind the net. We've had a total of 100 shots on goal in this hockey game. 4-4 tie. Carpenter puts the puck deep in the Islanders zone. Glenn Healy with Darius Kasparaitis. Islanders' #1 draft pick. Entry draft of 1992. Darius Kasparaitis to Steve Thomas. The New York Islanders through center. Thomas with a rip. Just missed the net. Thomas in after it. Bumped off the puck by Kevin Hatcher. On to Kelly Miller. Carpenter cuts through the middle. Ridley moves up the right side, but the puck is loose, and it's also offside against Washington.
What a blast by Steve Thomas, trying to end it with one shot from outside the blue line. But Tabaracci Not a goaltender that I would expect you could beat with a shot like that by anybody from the blue line. More importantly, I suppose, Thomas, knowing that, he's trying to keep it low. It was a good low, hard shot. What he's trying to do is maybe force Tabaracci to make the save, kick out a rebound that he was in full flight looking for.
Now Ferraro with Flatley and Hogue out against Pivonka, Christich, and Bondra. Long shot from center as the Caps get it into the Islanders zone. Bondra taking Baskey to the boards. Ferraro back trying to tie up Pivonka. Did a nice job of it. Pivonka slips away from the check, put it in front. Oh, and it didn't go past the goal line. Now it's centered across again. Iafrate freezing Flatley, moves in back to the net. This is Pivonka trying to come out in front. Centered. Healy makes the save and holds on.
Look at Ray Ferraro as he looks down at the ice and says, oh no, that puck hit him and deflected. Healy was there to bail him out once again. What a stop by Healy. Got himself in the right position, and the Washington Capitals pick up the tempo. Little Pivonka behind the net. There he goes out, passes it, it hits Ferraro. Look at the goalpost to your right. Ferraro with his hand on it stops the play, pitches the puck out, close call, as Pivonka, Bondra, and Christich get things going for the Washington Capitals. Christich with a good chance there, stopped by Healy. There's Christich as he moved it to the front of the net the second time. Here Flatley tries to block a shot. Iafrate, good job by faking, held the puck, kept the play alive, and it was that play that you saw moments ago that went off. Ray Ferraro almost got behind Healy.
8 minutes and 19 seconds played in the second sudden death overtime period. All start on the face-off between Pivonka and Travis Green. We have hit midnight in the East, 12:01 as a matter of fact, officially.
Have a curfew?
Oh yes, we've been at this a long time. The game that began at 7:40 has drifted on into Wednesday morning. Caps get the draw. Cavallini right on, and Healy's got that. Up under the right arm.
Again, the Washington Capitals come up with an excellent draw, clean draw, back to this left point position. Take a look, Travis Green, he was a little off balance. That's how Pivonka was able to spear the puck from him, and Cavallini got a rip at it. Glenn Healy with a good look. The Islanders keeping the Washington Capitals that time away from the front of the net.
Oh, but again the Caps get the draw. Cavallini stumbling in the corner. Molotov with some help from his teammates, able to move it around. Cote comes to the right point. Puts it back in the net. There's Pivonka. Christich moving in, drags it away from Kasparaitis. Christich on a sharp turn to Pivonka. The backhander hit the side of the net. Now it's Kasparaitis trying to come up the left wing. As Green up ahead, flips it over his head. It lands in the Washington zone, and Tabaracci comes out to play it. Hard around the glass, into the skates of Mullen. To the corner, but there's Cavallini. He'll flip it up in the air, and that will land and bounce to the Islanders zone. Bobby Fitzgerald, who has just come out on a player change, moves it across ice. Mullen into the zone, runs into Cote, and Sean Anderson back to the puck. Give it to Randy Burridge over on the left side. Burridge to Bay. Both teams going with some reserves here. Backboard now is Norton. Norton to Turgeon. He dumps it in. Sean Anderson got it out. It hit Loisel. He's dumped it right back in. Fitzgerald after it, but there's Hatcher. Up to Burridge, couldn't handle it. Here Turgeon being double shifted, playing with Fitzgerald and Loisel just now. To Norton, to Loisel, tipped it toward Fitzgerald. Jones gets a stick on it for the Cap. Keith Jones, who scored some big late season goals. He dumped it in. There's Burridge over the left. He let it go back to Anderson. Nice play by Krupp to knock that out of the air. Good hand-eye coordination, and the Islanders are still in the zone, only down as Fitzgerald get it out. Caps promptly put it back in. Bay chasing Norton. This line for the Caps has kept the tempo high. Norton lays it through center, through Hatcher. Ferraro drives in on him. In comes Flatley as well, but there's Krieger around Johansson. Ellie Johansson sends Hunter out on the left side. Element moves up ahead. The shot hits Baskey at the blue line and is dropped back by Molotov. On to Flatley. Flatley with a rip that's just wide of the net. Vladimir Molotov trying to center it. Ends up in the corner instead. Patrick Flatley. Back to Molotov. He gets checked, and out of the zone comes Krieger, only to be checked by Flatley. Meantime, Cote forces him down the ice, and Vasky will go back. Vasky turns. Hunter comes in on him. And it's Vasky. Played it through Todd Krieger onto Hogue, and the Islanders clear it out. Hansen waits before shooting it back in. Washington slowly getting the play back onside. Here's Hunter, but he's checked by Molotov, who goes down to the deck. A hit from Hunter.
Thinking of these kinds of hockey games the Washington Capitals involved makes me think back to John Bruce. Remember the year he had with all of the goals that he scored, important goals for the Washington Capitals, and they traded him away.
They got Pat Allenuk instead. Here's Thomas with a shot. Handcuffed Tabaracci, but he was still able to get enough of it. Kasparaitis on the right wing boards gets checked. Norton covers up at center ice. Turgeon, Thomas and King for the Islanders. Norton with a pass that's through King. It will result in an icing. 8 minutes and 29 seconds left in the second sudden death overtime period.
No quitters here, not Ally Afraidy. He gets a lot more ice time now. Tremendous athlete. Probably endure it better than others. But it has to tell a certain amount on everybody. A player like Steve Thomas, who uses his body in so many ways, hitting, dancing, trying to control the puck. Glenn Healy, outstanding. Really, everybody has played such a hockey game. Mistakes have been made, but goaltenders in both cases, both ends of the ice, have made the difference.
30-year-old Glenn Healy played 47 games for the Islanders in the regular season, winning 22 and 20 losses and 2 ties, 3.30 goals against average. Rick Tabaracci came over here in a deal just prior to the trading deadline from Winnipeg. Got into 6 games, a starter in 5, and with a record in 5 that included 2 shutout victories, and 3-2-0, and 1.75 goals against average. That's the reason he got the start. Beginning of the playoffs, it ruffled a few feathers around here, including those naturally of backup goaltender Don Beaupre.
Not a high-priced goaltender either when you think that Tabaracci will make $380,000 next year on his contract.
Glenn Healy, of course, playing out his option, hoping that he'll be able to get a new deal for some higher numbers. The Islanders general manager Don Maloney with a lot of players to sign in the offseason. Here is Cote after the Caps had won the draw. Puck played around the boards. Kasparaitis chasing it, trying to get it away from Bondra. Kasper turns, picked up by Pivonka. The Caps tried to center, but Travis Green slapped it back, and Delgarno comes up the right wing board. On to Green. Green puts it deep in the Washington zone. Tabaracci turns it toward Cote, who would come back. Sylvain Cote got away from Delgarno. Over the Islander line with a pass to the left side. That's Bondra centering, and it ends up back of the net. Huey Krupp lost it. Here's Pivonka. Trying to get it out in front. Does. Cote makes the turn, centered, but Green is there to clear it. Back goes Cavallini.
Washington plans spending a little more time in the Islanders' end than Al Arbor wants to see them.
Back over the line again. Cavallini held it at the line and then shot it wide. It'll be picked up by Derek King. King trying to play it away from Miller. Forces it through center ice, but not into the Washington zone. Then Ridley dropped it back, and here's Hatcher. Johansson, who comes to center and aren't around the boards, will come to the left wing. Ridley and King are there. So is Turgeon, and the Islanders clear it out. Hatcher once more to Johansson. Down the ice it goes. Roop to chase it. Coming in is Miller. He took a dive off the end of the board. Derek King with it now on the left side. Handled the puck with the pass to Krupp. Up to Turgeon, but too far. Hatcher plays it towards center ice. Up steps Derek King. He's over the line with Turgeon and Thomas. Thomas shoots. Tabaracci, the stick save. King takes it back to the net. Derek King hung up here with Pat Allenuk. That allows Carpenter to feed it out to Hatcher. A big defenseman into the zone. Kasparaitis jolts him off, and the long shot turned aside routinely by Healy. He's got an outlet to Turgeon with one man back. It's Iafrate. Jumping up in the play is Molotov. The shot's right on and blocked. Turgeon from back of the net. Taken to the boards heavily by Hatcher. The Caps get it out of the zone. Allenuk to Ridley, but the pass out of his reach, and Molotov finds Thomas at the Washington line. He has dumped it in. Hogue goes racing in. There's Iafrate around to Allenuk. And Allenuk clears it out. Back on it is Norton. Hunter moving up on him. Norton works it across. This is Dennis Vasky. Now to Jeff Norton. Norton Moving it through the air, down into the Washington zone. Icing waved off. Cote in the exchange here with Rick Tabarachi. He's played more than 14 minutes of a second sudden death overtime period. Up with it is Krieger. He's over the line. Nice hit check thrown by Vaske. The puck centered across in front. Nobody there for the Caps, and it's Flatley leading the rush for the Islanders. Long pass missed by Hogue. Picks it up now. Makes the turn and played it away from Hunter. Up the right side goes Flatley. Down Jones. A feed to Ferraro is tipped, and Cote slaps it up ahead to Hunter. Down to Krieger. Krieger over the line. Jones goes to the front of the net, but the pass just out of his reach. He's Jones trying to center. Gave it to Hunter. Laid it out in front. Krieger is checked on the play, and up comes Ray Ferraro. Mullen with him on the right side. A nice little lay-in pass. Mullen shoots. Tabarachi the save. They score! Ray Ferraro! Islanders 5, Capitals 4 at 12:09 on Wednesday morning.
14 minutes and 50 seconds of the second overtime period. Ray Ferraro is able to do what the Washington Capitals have done so many times in the first two games. Jam a loose puck in around the net. Are they going to call for a replay? I don't think so. It is. Here's a replay. Let's take a look at it. What a move by Mullen as he picked up the puck, guarded it. He got the shot away. Tabarachi turned. The puck was loose. Here comes Ferraro. Cavallini tried to hold him up. There's the puck as it bounced into the net. The goal by Ray Ferraro. The Islanders, as Jiggs McDonald had predicted, the score of the game being 5-4. Who was it going to be? As Mullen made the play, a beauty. Watch the goal line. There's Ray Ferraro as he jammed the puck in. Cavallini got up to complain. No complaints, the referee said. The puck was in. It was loose. Look at that beautiful layout pass as Brian Mullen grabbed the puck. He protected it with his body. Beautiful play at the net. Good stop by Tabarachi. And here's the loose puck as it slowly squirted loose. Ray Ferraro jammed it in before any whistles blew, and the Islanders have tied the series at 1 game apiece.
They're announcing the goal as Brian Mullen. Our replays clearly show it being Ray Ferraro putting it in the net. And the goal at 14:50 right now announced and credited to Brian Mullen. And the Islanders in overtime have a 5-4 win in a split in the first two games at the Capitol Center. Would you believe they had to work so much in overtime to get it? But that's been typical of this team.
Interesting, too, Jiggs, that when you think of the territorial advantage that the Washington Capitals were enjoying for at least the last 7 or 8 minutes of this double overtime period, and it was one of the few times the Islanders were able to break out of it.
Well, since you plugged it in and turned us on, thanks for staying with us. You'll hear from Brian Mullen when we come back to the Capitol Center right after this.
Nobody beats the Wiz opened in 1970.
Carpenter over here on the right wing. Carpenter falls. Iafrate is there.